Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Easy Allies Community Showcase for the month of June. You nailed it, Ben, when you came in. What'd you say, settle in?
Settle in, yeah. Settle in with the Community Showcase.
That is the Community Showcase. Settle in is certainly how I feel right now because it's a lot of work getting all the comments together, getting all the media together so we can settle in and kick back probably for the next 3 hours and talk about stuff that our community is talking about. But most importantly, not most important, it's all equally important. But if you stick around past a good solid hour and a half of talking, we will get to some drawings, some photographs, some screenshots, some lovely music and video provided to us by our community. If you would like to be involved, everything looks and sounds okay, it appears. If you'd like to get involved, this is a $10 and above tier on patreon.com/easyallies. I put up a post, thanks Lex, I put up a post the week before the showcase every month, right at the end of the month, and for anybody at the $10 or above slot on Easy Allies at Patreon can participate in the community showcase, and thank you for everyone that does. We have some every month we have new people, but of course we have some returning guests, some video updates we look forward to, and lots of fun stuff. You're gonna have to do some performing today,
yeah,
so it's a broad spectrum.
I always think it's impressive when you have the people that are, like, I can tell around everything. They do community showcase, they do Q&A.
Yeah.
They're just like across the spectrum. That dedication.
It's like the podcast producer credits. I always just love a refresher on just what everyone is doing, what everybody wants to talk about. And it is E3 in 2 days.
No, it's easier right now. E3 has been happening for all week.
Yeah, I say this like we have to anticipate something. Fresh off of a press conference today, had another press conference like announcement yesterday. Mm-hmm. Trailers dropping every single day. So yeah, you can definitely feel the E3 hype in the comments. Kicking it off with Caesar Villa. Hello BBC. That's Ben, Brandon, and Chat. May has ended, and believe it or not, I finally beat some games last month. So for once, no weird tangents, just good old games. And I do mean old, but hey, they still count, right? First, Night in the Woods. This one is a little weird. Is this what people call a walking simulator? Not quite. At least from what I see, I've not played Night in the Woods.
It's one of Huber's favorites.
The gameplay is pretty bland. The story takes a very dark and bonkers turn at the end, and I can't say I relate to any of the characters, but the writing is genius. It had me cracking up constantly way harder and longer than it should have. Fine game. Then, Overcooked. Yes. A cousin of mine moved in with us last November, and turns out she likes video games. So when it was time to play Overcooked, 3 was better than 2, or so we thought. That game broke us and built us as a family. Broke us and built us as a family way too many times. Waiting for a sale to get Overcooked 2 and start screaming at each other once again. Yeah, it's interesting to find the magic number with Overcooked because 4 is just not a good idea.
See, in the last year, I would say Overcooked is one of the best gaming experiences Abby and I have had together because it was such an emotional journey. It started all excited and carefree, and then we definitely had some trouble spots where it's like, okay, no, you need to do this, but then we overcame that and came back together stronger than ever. And I think just that going on that emotional journey with Overcooked was part of the appeal.
I love when the conversation just gets serious. When you're like, because both of you want to talk, you know, but you kind of had, it's like marriage counseling. Like you're like, okay, wait, okay, shh. Look, here's all I'm saying. You did a good job cutting the meat. If I'm over by the skillets, then you could throw. I know you keep bringing up the skillets, but I want to put the like.
And you just have those moments
it's like you're talking about your parents moving in.
Yeah, you have those moments where you're both trying to be like nice, but you're also annoyed. Where you're like, yeah, there's a dirty dish, or like, oh yeah, we need some cut lettuce. Yeah, it's great.
One of my favorite, can you come up with nicknames for like areas of the kitchen and different types of food? One of my favorite was noodles became nudes. So like Amanda and I were playing, it was like, I need nudes. Give me nudes right now. Just like throwing noodles across the kitchen.
Give me nudes.
Give me nudes. Give me those nudes. A cousin of mine, and then after being done with Overcooked, I urged my wife and cousin to give Until Dawn a try. I remember the way you guys played it in the GT days, and we tried something like that. We split the characters as evenly as possible, so they ended up with 3 and I got 2. While I had watched your stream, that was so long ago that I only remembered some plot points. I bet we would all totally forget Until Dawn. I think we could do that stream all over again.
Yeah, Until Dawn, like my memory of it is just moments.
Yeah.
There are definitely some things I still remember. Great game.
Kyle and the Squirrel definitely stands out in the beginning.
I wish he wasn't there for that stream. It's a bummer.
We like to do much that started a second playthrough immediately remixing the assigned characters, and then a third one doing the same thing, and that's where we are right now. And lastly, The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask. Finally got to
here we
beat this
go.
one. I'm not proud of having to use the guide here and there in parts where I got stuck, but damn, this is an excellent video game. Now that's another one scratched from the Zelda list. I'm just pending Triforce Heroes, and after that, Breath of the Wild will be it.
Wait, that's it?
Yeah.
He's just saying it's another one scratched from this. Give me your Majora's Mask thoughts. That's a game that
I know.
produces some feeling.
I know.
At least somewhere.
Overcooked produced more feelings.
Okay.
Sorry, man.
All right.
I wonder if I can get the wife and cousin to play Triforce Heroes with me. Should I even dare? Since I still have a few characters to spare, I'll talk a little about E3. I really expect nothing from it. All right, well that's good. Thanks for coming to the showcase. So we're done. Nothing's happening. I know, weird, right? It's just that we have so many announced and unreleased projects from Nintendo that I don't think they will announce anything relevant. Sony won't even be present, so there's no hype there. And I've never owned a Microsoft console, so I'll be happy for all the fans of Halo, Gears, or whatever they announce that's worth it. But other than that, release dates from Nintendo will be enough for me. And that's all. Thanks for all you do, allies. I hope you have a wonderful E3. Love and respect, Caesar. Leaving original placeholder comment here is a sign of respect for the 2 allies that liked my post when it was only that. For just in the world of the community showcase poster, right when I put the post up, a lot of people will see that right away, and so they'll jump in and grab the comments.
Same thing with
earlier in the
Q&A.
show.
Yep.
So it's for a while, and I feel bad because we had 2 posts I think at the end that still just said like hold, and I'm like, you missed it. You know, we're doing the showcase now. You missed it, but it's people to jump in at the last minute. Yeah, we'll talk more about E3, but it's just I sympathize with people.
Nope, that's it. We're done.
Yeah.
No more E3.
No more E3.
The community showcase is the last conversation.
But I get that, just the calm before the storm, right before it happens, you feel like, is something really going to happen? Like right before a press conference, you're like, they could just do nothing. They could just do finger painting for like 2 hours.
That's exciting.
But I don't think it's going to happen.
The thing about E3 is even when it's bad, it's good.
I know.
Like at least you get memes out of it.
Yeah. I always, there is that part of me that always just wishes for another Square Enix press conference. I actually had an idea the other day. What if we do the Square Enix, the 2014 Square Enix press conference? You know what I'm talking about? What's the nightmare press conference where it's just like one confusing presentation after another? That was the
Konami 2010?
Was it Konami? Oh, it was Konami.
Yeah, Konami 2010.
Konami 2010
is the one, yeah.
And that was 1 million's troops and all that, yeah. We should do that as like a show, as like a play. We should actually cast all of the allies as different people.
Yeah, it'd be fun getting specific roles. Who would be
dead
Takuchi?
serious? I know, dead serious.
I mean, just even like reacting with other allies, or I guess at the time other GT members, it was a nothing EA conference, and just us all simultaneously being completely underwhelmed was fun in its own way.
I don't know why I took a bite.
What are you eating?
Of my power bar, a Tiger's Milk bar.
Oh, nice.
No.
Get that energy.
I was happy. I had that in the backpack. I totally forgot. I'm like, I'm going to skip breakfast. Wait a minute. I will have something. Maybe some Nutter Butters in the kitchen. Cisco Ace Jackson Garcia. I love to write and have for a long time. Creative writing is my outlet of choice, and I'm come up with book ideas I hope to write someday because I think they're interesting stories worth telling. One of those was the Lunar Valen Academy stories, which I'm familiar with, which I've been telling by means of short snippets, creating characters for the Allies. I've also made it into a D&D campaign for some of my friends and family. But even more than this high fantasy story, I want to tell 2 stories grounded in the real world with psychological themes that will interest and or confuse the reader on what may or may not be real. I love that. That's my favorite kind of stuff. If I were able to describe the story premise, it would ruin a bit of the majesty, but perhaps in the coming months, I'll be able to post some messages to the showcase in the future. I think it'll be really fun to see people react to these stories. Now, for the meat and potatoes. Hey, Ben and Brandon and fellow allies of Clan Chat. First and foremost, I want to thank the allies and my fellow allies for all the love, respect, and support we provided to Ian at this time in his life. It gave my heart much joy to know that he was given the opportunity, understanding, and time to be home for these last few months to be there with his family. As someone who's lost many family members in the past 5 years, I know a little of his pain. A community like ours can only be a boon in times like these. Just for clarity, Ian's father passed away about a week or 2 ago. So that is what that is referring to. On to games. I've been playing Witcher 3 again since some of my friends bought it because the complete edition was on sale for $15. Ugh, $15. They had owned the game previously but never played the DLC, which are arguably better than the main game. I still never played. Did you do the DLC at all?
I didn't.
I did the first one, but not the second one. The first one was really great.
I've dumped 60 hours into Witcher 3 and didn't finish it, so someday I'll go back. But
whenever you do, I'll finish Persona 5. Whenever you do, if you can make a concerted Witcher 3 effort.
Brandon, I'm worried that you are writing a check you can't cash.
I'm
worried you're writing a check you can't cash.
I think I went like 25. I can't remember how much I did. But is it coming to Switch?
No,
No?
it's not.
No, I don't mean like has that been announced. Like, do you think we're in Vegas? You're putting your chips on the table.
Oh no, I think if it was coming, they would have announced it.
Yeah, bummer.
Yeah.
They'd owned the game previously, but never played the DLC. So now I play the game again, 2 trophies away from my platinum. Also been playing Monster Hunter, trying to level before Iceborne. In the realm of anime, I can say that there's one shining star this season. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba is superb. The animation style, motion work, character design, and storytelling are above and beyond at times. Especially the woodblock effects to special moves that are always breathtaking. I avidly watch every week. I have a ton of other animes that I'm watching, but some I enjoy, others are just to pass the time. The only one I will note this time is the 3rd season of Bungo Stray Dogs. I have loved this anime from the start because it is about humans who have special abilities and names based on writers from our world, from many Japanese authors to American authors, and even Dostoevsky. I find it interesting to see how they develop the characters and powers and how it relates to the texts authors they are based on. Thanks, allies, much love. Let's get hyped for E3. Woo! Either one of those animes jump out at you?
People have been talking a lot about Demon Slayer, but it's just like the last 2 weeks have been me just like trying to function through E3, and so it's like, yeah, no, I'm not.
Man too,
yeah, I'm not watching. Yeah, we're doing other things, so no, I'm not watching a bunch of anime at the moment.
Juan Roland Jr. Hola, Ben E. Jones. Ben.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Ben. I truly and honestly feel for you. It's probably safe to say you're the ally that likes the most genres of video games, and I'm right here with you. I'm constantly battling the onslaught of great games from all corners of the world that I'd love to sink my teeth into, but unfortunately, never have enough time to enjoy it all. Even with the struggle to play everything you have your heart set on, you do it all with a smile, and I'm always grateful for it. While I continue to selfishly hope for a quiet year in gaming so that I can catch up on my backlog, I start off with talking about finishing Banner Saga 2 and 3 since last month. Overall, great series, and I'm surprised what it brought out in me as a person. Without spoiling who or where, you're given an option to kill or spare someone, and while I normally take the morally good route in games, I chose the option to kill this person, even though the game asked me multiple times if I was sure. Scared at how gratifying it was, but damn, they deserved it, and there was no hesitation. Bonds will be made and broken in these games, and I loved every part of it. I remember there's one right at the beginning of the Telltale Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Where it's like, well, this is the rules, and that guy broke the rules. And I'm like, all right, he gets punished then. And they're like, yeah, but does he? I'm like, yes, he does. And they were like, yeah, but it's Game of Thrones, though, does he? I'm like, he definitely does. Like Telltale was like, woo! Right off the bat.
it was pretty recently. Somebody asked me, like, oh, man, how many games have you been evil in? And my immediate response was, oh, I went Renegade in Mass Effect, and I had a great time. Like,
yeah.
That was a decision that I'm really happy I made. I wouldn't want to play those games Paragon because Renegade was just so hilarious to me. But I think I intend to be evil a lot of times, and then I run into a situation just like, nah, I can't do that. Like it, I can't be that evil guy a lot of the time.
I definitely
end up being good. Yeah.
The only time I was evil was I played KOTOR 2 Evil for the retro. So I did it because I needed that evil footage. I had footage of all the good campaign, and I needed some evil stuff. And then I started Mass Effect 1. It wasn't evil, I just wasn't impatient. I was just like, I'm not going to wait for anybody because I want to rush through this game, but I only played a couple hours of it.
That's something that's actually really fun about The Witcher that I like is you have a lot of choices where it's not like, oh, I'm being evil, but it's like, no, man, you're going to pay me for this. Yeah. Like, I'm going to put my neck out there, you're going to pay me for this. And I like that line of thought.
There's a lot of games, there's got to be one in particular that I'm thinking of, but there's like a lot of games where there'll be that option that's like, okay, no, that's the part where you pay me. I'm always like, keep your money, made up character. Finally got SteamWorld Dig 2 when it was on sale recently and devoured it just like the first one. Felt as if they tried to make it a little easier than the first, but enjoyed it nonetheless. I remember talking to you about SteamWorld Dig 2, and you were like, boy, Jones, I'm not having that problem at all, but I felt they were like crazy like ricochet chain reactions all the time. Like everywhere I went in SteamWorld Dig 2, I was like blowing up all over the place. Like I would like knock something and like, no, I didn't mean to, and like I would try to make something happen and then wouldn't see.
The way they design SteamWorld Dig 2 and just the flow of upgrades and progression, it's so smooth and tight that it's just a game that I feel like, for me and probably a lot of other people, you go in with the intent of being like, oh, I'll check this out, maybe I'll have a good time, and then just before, like 2 days go by and you're like, well, I did it all. Just because it's so well constructed. That game, even every time somebody mentions it, I just get a little glimmer in my eye.
Even something like I'm almost done with Rage 2, and like how Rage 2's systems work took me like about 5 or 6 hours before I was like, got it. Okay, now I get what the currencies are, and then I need to upgrade a tier with one currency and then drill in with a point that I get. Because it would be like, you did this. And I'm like, I'm just driving around the world. I don't care what I'm earning. Like, I don't need to upgrade right now. This gun's powerful enough. I'm fine.
Right.
Whereas SteamWorld, man, 30 seconds in, you're like, got it.
Yep.
Great. Boy, that one little dot, I moved that one little item. I want to do that again. And then just 5 hours later,
and you like
can't stop playing it.
When I would go and upgrade all the gear, I would find that like, oh man, I want all of these things, or a lot of these seem useful, and always appreciate that in any game. Something I bring up a lot.
The music of the game was right up my alley. New Heights in El Machino is a great example of a great song which constantly played while you're in town. With that done, I've moved to Yoku's Island Express. Having a good time, even though it seems I'm horrible at pinball mechanics. A few personal disappointments I pushed to the side this month were Formula 1, Forma 8 and Fear Effect Sedna. Forma 8's in quotes, so I'm curious what that is. Forma 8 has an interesting art style. Forma period 8 has an interesting art style, even if repetitive at times. What probably hurt the most is how slow the gameplay felt. According to the loading screen, I reached over 20% of the game, but just wasn't motivated to continue. With Fear Effect, I recall playing the first 2 games on PlayStation and had relatively fond memories of it. I tried Sedna out, and dear God, the innuendos. So many innuendos. Made me think, did I really enjoy the first 2? Perhaps they were the same rubbish, but a different effect on me since I played them as a hormonal teenager, and the fond memories came from that? Needless to say, after almost 20 years since playing them, I'm simply not in that frame of mind anymore. To end on an E3 note, will we see anything regarding the artistic and story-driven In the Valley of Gods? Probably. That seems like that's ready to go.
I don't know. When it comes to E3 though, and will we see it? I always want to lean to yes, regardless of what it is.
The dark fantasy shooter Witchfire. Didn't that have a funny trailer where they were like from these people who made this adventure game? From these people who made everybody gone to the rapture, and then it was like it was like Painkiller kind of.
Right. No, I thought it was the Painkiller people. Is that what I'm thinking of? Is that the right game? It's been a very long time since.
That's what I remember that game being, but I don't know that team specifically. Or the hardcore 4-player co-op GTFO. Can't wait to experience E3 with you all. Amor y respeto. GTFO, I think I played at Judges Week last year, so I think they like E3. I think they're going to want to be there. Jack Price. Hey there, Brandon and Ben. Today I come to you with my most anticipated game of E3.
Here we go.
2 words. Doom Eternal.
Hey, I'm just going to go out on a limb. This person has some taste.
For context, the Doom series is one of my favorite of all time. I was first introduced to the original 1993 game many years after it had come out whilst I was still in college, around 2008. Even despite the game being pretty old at that point, I became instantly hooked. Fast and fluid gameplay, fantastic level design, and a rocking soundtrack. After countless playthroughs, I can easily say that the original Doom is quite possibly my favorite game of all time, just by the virtue of how infinitely replayable it is. The pure, perfected FPS experience.
Brandon, I need to tell you a story, just because it broke my heart so much.
Ooh.
So Abby and I keep bringing it up, and we just enjoy playing games together. It's been a wonderful journey. But every once in a while, I'll play something, and she's just like, nah. And I love that. I love that she's just able to do that.
Yeah.
And she goes to bed a lot earlier than I do. I'm usually up pretty late. And she's like, oh, hey, why don't you play something, in here, and I can just watch while I fall asleep. And I didn't have a lot of my stuff set up at that TV, but I had my 360, and I had the Xbox Live Arcade version of Doom, and I was like, man, Doom, I always love jumping into Doom. I'm going to boot it up. And she was just like, I don't like this at all. And I was like, no! What do you mean you don't like this? Listen to that music!
Yeah.
Look at that imp! Yeah, and so it was just a totally heartbreaking moment for me.
It's a bummer that I had to just pocket that one, because Amanda loves great stories. She loves fun characters. And she likes adventure games, loves Zelda. Mm-hmm. Just can't stand turn-based anything.
As somebody who loves turn-based stuff, RPGs, I get that.
Pokemon, she was like, I can't. I can't. I'm like,
yeah.
All right, okay. That's fair. We got no limitations. All right. From there, I moved sequentially through each entry in the series. Doom 2 built on the foundations of the original and provides some outstanding thrills, and of course the introduction of the majestic super shotgun, as well as tons of new iconic enemies. Even Doom 3, which I love personally, despite its major shift to a more horror experience, is a brilliantly crafted experience that is very often unfairly cast aside when discussing the series. A black sheep for sure, but a damn good time all the same.
I mean, Doom 3 scared the hell out of me.
I think Doom 3 also was instrumental in the whole, like, listening to, because it was before BioShock, I believe, and it's like the whole listening to recordings while you're going through an area. Like,
there was a lot of that.
Loved it. The warning signs were all there. A mixed E3 reception, a poorly received multiplayer beta, and the lack of review copies before release. Everything pointing towards this game not being able to oh no, then there's Doom 2016. The warning signs were all there. A mixed E3 reception, poorly received multiplayer beta, and the lack of review copies before release. Everything pointing towards this game not being able to live up to the legacy of Doom. The game came out, and what did we get? Quite possibly the best first-person shooter released this decade. Visceral gameplay, map-based level design, wonderfully minimalistic storytelling, and the soundtrack, good God, that soundtrack. A perfect update to a long-dormant franchise that respects its roots while staying modern. The FPS king was back, baby. Cut to last E3 at Bethesda's conference, the tease of the next Doom game, Doom Eternal. To say I was excited is an understatement. Now cut to QuakeCon shortly after, where a full 20-plus minutes of gameplay was shown, and my hype levels are through the roof. Everything shown for Doom Eternal so far shows me that id Software knows what they're doing, keeping all the aspects that worked so well in the previous game, whilst introducing new enemies and mechanics. My hope for this year's E3 presentation is that we finally get a release date and just more gameplay to salivate over. This means a lot to me, and has been outstandingly consistent with every entry, and by the look of what's been shown so far, Doom Eternal, that consistency ain't stopping anytime soon. I'll for sure be watching Bethesda's conference as well as all the others with you allies this year. I've booked the week off of work, especially for the occasion, and will consume as much EZA at E3 content as I can. Keep up the great work, and I hope you all have a great E3. Love and respect, Jack.
Man, Doom 2016 was just so inspired. It was nice that it didn't try to chase existing shooter trends in a way that felt cynical or like desperate. There's no sense of desperation from June 2016. It just like it has this vision that's so clear, so easy to pick up on, and it's just this ride. Like it just gives you something that like nothing else could do in the same way. And I just have a tremendous amount of respect for that game.
It's interesting. I'm playing through the original Doom on my PS4, and I'm playing Rage 2 on PC.
And it's interesting. Are you playing Doom?
I'm sorry, 2016. Okay. Yeah. And it's interesting because I feel like Rage, all the issues that I have with Rage 2, I'll get out of the car and start shooting things, and I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, this is great.
Yeah.
You know, like, this feels really good. Mm-hmm. But it just seems like they didn't figure out the rest of the open world in terms of, like, incentivizing you to then use that gameplay for something that would feel meaningful, whereas Doom is it. Doom's like, this is what this kind of really painstaking attention to just really good, really feeling good combat. Like, this is the type of game that should support this type of gameplay.
Yeah, this is very similar to our conversation that you and I had on Less Frame Trap. YouTube.com/EasyAllies.
Because I probably know like more about Rage 2 than I know about Doom, but I'm way more interested in Doom 2, in Doom's world. Like, I think it's just they sell it in a much better way. Robert I grinded 11,500 souls to get the final item needed to forge Shinnok's amulet in Mortal Kombat 11. A day later, NetherRealm Studios patched it so only required 2,500 souls now. I just needed to share this.
Yeah, I think that perfectly encapsulates what was so frustrating about the entire unlocking stuff in Mortal Kombat 11 experience. Yeah, that really says everything that needs to be said.
Regardless, I love the game and, say as nicely as possible, I think it deserves a higher score than EZA gave it.
Yeah.
As nicely as possible.
I mean, we could find that comment on any review.
It's true.
There are people when we could give a 10 to something, and they're like, man, you really should have cranked that up.
Dude, I don't know.
To an 11.
I don't know what it is. I got edgy at EZA for some reason. Ever since we've done EZA, all my scores are like below Metacritic. Like every single one is like, woo!
No, I think just a lot of the games that you've been reviewing.
Yeah.
It's weird. Sometimes things just roll that way, where you get a lot of things that really click with you, or you get a slew of things that don't. And it's not like you want it to be that way. It just happens.
I love that I've reviewed Spider-Man and Red Dead like back to back, and I was just like, the joys!
Yeah.
And then it was like Just Cause 4, Crackdown 3.
Right, yeah.
Days Gone, which I loved, but like, yeah. A lot of interesting open world games. Brandon K. Gann. It's that most wonderful time of the year once again, where we schedule around press conferences and content as much as we can, open a couple different tabs in our browsers, and take in the joy and frustration that is the biggest gaming tradition. Like always, I came up with 5 predictions for each of the 5 major conferences, but for this submission, instead of doing least to most confident with all predictions, I'll provide 2 per conference. The only one I'm most confident in, and one I see as a wild card. Going in chronological order means I'm starting with perhaps the biggest show from any Xbox. More than anything else, I believe the show will open with Gears 5. As for my wild card, we'll get the name, either the official title or code name, of Xbox Next Generation Console, but nothing else. While Xbox will have more attention than anyone else at E3, I get the feeling they'll want to do their own console reveal event later this year. Yeah, we'll definitely do both. Next is Bethesda, and with them, my most overall a confident prediction, VP of Marketing Pete Hines will open the show addressing the debacle that was Fallout 76. No! There's no way. They're going to dance right on through that.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do it, but...
That'd be bold. My jaw would hit the floor.
Yeah, I'm with you.
No! Whether they make it out as a joke on themselves or a serious mea culpa for 3 to 5 minutes, I cannot imagine Bethesda having this conference and not addressing the largest elephant in the room since the PSN outage of 2011. That elephant is going to be on camera the whole time, just standing there. That elephant's just going to be in the back, like...
And it's going to get increasingly annoying.
Where do I sit? My wildcard pick is we'll have Arcane's Lion Studios project teased, but no gameplay will be shown. Now comes Ubisoft, and while they can do a variety of things, I'm most confident the conference will end on a new IP announcement focusing on single player, but it will also have multiplayer. Of all my 25 predictions, the following is my most out there. The partnership between Ubisoft and Nintendo still goes strong, this time with a Rabbids Wario compilation of minigames. No, I don't think Miyamoto will be there for this announcement. Moving on to Square Enix. Coming up with 5 was the hardest, until State of Play, thank you. Thank you, Square Enix, for giving me the best birthday present possible 4 days before the actual day, and solidifying yourself as my most anticipated conference. So, my most confident prediction is the Final Fantasy VII Remake segment will be an unedited gameplay sequence of around 10 minutes. I think the opening bombing mission is the safest bet. As for a wild card, I think there will be no more than 7 games in all covered during a presentation lasting 45 minutes. Finally, there will be no more than 7 games in all... Finally, there's Nintendo, keeping their style the last few years. I'm confident their main focus, both the direct and their booth design, will be Animal Crossing. A bold call? I don't think so. As a huge fan,
I can see it happening.
I don't want to believe. To conclude with my random pick, we'll have the second third-party DLC fighter in Smash not only announced, but also shadow dropped. If all 5 are supposed to be out by February 2020, then 1 or every 2 or 3 months feels right. I am dragging those Animal Crossing expectations down to the bottom of the ocean, cabling them with large stones.
Yeah, you will have an awakening.
If they rise,
your heart will rise.
Yeah.
And grow.
Mm-hmm. Stephen Beaumont. Hey, Ben and Brandon. I've had a massive sense of relief and excitement this month as I overcame 2 problems. Both problems were solved with the same game, as 1, I hadn't really played any games the previous month, and 2, I never have taken to narrative-based walking sim games. I had only been playing the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game for about 3 weeks straight and decided to put that down. I had a really good deck that made the game stagnant. Ooh. Just sucks, man. When you just win so much, you just dominate. You figure out the meta of Yu-Gi-Oh! And you're like, where do I go from here?
It's never like having a deck that you enjoy too much. It's just seeing the same type of deck on the ladder over and over again. Like right. that really does get boring pretty quick.
2 years in a row, I got the email and I was tempted both times, but I'm like, I don't know what's going to be at the show, and there's always just so much to see. But when you get that email from Comic-Con for like Yu-Gi-Oh! Being like, come on by, we'll show you everything we have.
I would love.
I'm like so you know what I mean? I'm so tempted. I just want to sit down in a chair and be like, hit me,
dude. Just Jones sitting down for an E3 impressions and saying Dark Magician, I think would really tickle me. Yeah, that'd be great.
So maybe that'll happen one day, but there's a lot at Comic-Con, and I probably won't be going this year. Maybe for a day. Sorry. Oh, geez. Oh, I really wanted to play a short game just to get myself back in the groove, so I looked at the deals on Switch, decided that I would give narrative games one last shot, and since I love comics, I would just enforce that mentality when playing and not expect more from a game that wasn't offering a triple jump. I promised that I would invest into the characters and bring them to life like my comics. That game was, mentioned for the second time in the showcase, A Night in the Woods. Man, that game is great. An easy 8 out of 10 experience. I won't go too much into detail for those who haven't played it, but the comedic writing and timing is so good, but there are also so many emotional beats that hit close to home. Highly recommend. Also, the game has a jump button, so it was the perfect game to ease me into narrative games because it gave me story but allowed me to jump around like an idiot, which is one of gaming's greatest feelings. Then the rabbit hole started and I jumped right in. Picked up Oxenfree. Yes. Seemed okay, but I didn't like the interruption speech options. Only played for about an hour and hung it up, but I wasn't deterred. What's this? What Remains of Edith Finch free on PS Plus? Cheers! You guys have all praised this game, and I totally agree. That is a great 90-minute movie. Then I was determined to give Batman Telltale a second chance before it's taken off online stores. Just finished the first season and bought the second, and I'm really enjoying this. Getting sent to Arkham for a Blackgate crime hurt my feelings, but they did try to justify it, so that's okay, I guess. Yeah, it's Telltale. They gotta make it work. And finally, the thing I'm most proud of, I knew I could do it now. I could read the feelings of text boxes, and I was ready. Booted up my Switch and loaded up Final Fantasy VII.
I thought that reaction was going to be Dragon Quest Builders.
This is my third time. Maybe not the best at storytelling. There's some surprising story beats in the first Builders game, but this is my third time trying to play this game, and with the HD textures and small Switch screen, I played on the PS3 with a 42-inch that looked horrible. I'm really enjoying this game, and I want to see it through to completion. Two quick comic-related things. Catching up on Tom King's Batman and I Am Bane was amazing. Also getting deep in Hellboy thanks to the Inky Pen Switch app. Very cool and very funny. Cheers. Inky Pen Switch app. Ooh, tempting. Get those comics on your Switch. Do it. Bearded Scotsman 86. Final Fantasy VII, you like that game? Is it good?
You know, I hear we've had a good time with it.
Is it in the air right now? Or
What's nice is like Final Fantasy VII is one of those games that like has meant so much to me throughout my entire life. It just feels like it's always been relevant for me, which is awesome. And like there's always a new way in which it is relevant. Like it was the game that got me into Final Fantasy. It was like a big fun stream that people still remember to this day at game trailers, and now it's getting a remake. Like it's just, yeah, Final Fantasy VII is eternal for me.
Bearded Scotsman 86. Hey Brandon and Ben, after many months of considering it and always deciding that it would be too much of a time sink, I saw The Witcher 3 GOTY Edition in the sales at the end of last month and felt something has changed. Now is the time. I got the Platinum in The Witcher 3 over 3.5 years ago, and was the GOTY Edition. And as the GOTY Edition has a separate trophy list, I decided I would go for another Witcher 3 Platinum and picked it up in the sale. It is a solid game, and I am enjoying it all over again. I also picked up Shovel Knight in the sales. I have it on the Switch, but without the trophies, I was lacking motivation to play it. I now have played through Shovel Knight a full 3.5 times to obtain the Platinum trophy. Whilst playing it, I was watching a YouTube video of someone's Platinum journey and felt inspired to make my own video. So I started recording my gameplay, and I'm close to 9 hours of footage to edit down. Possibly in a future showcase, I'll submit my video. Hoping I enjoy the editing process and can turn out a lot of my gaming into videos. I always wonder, like, what my attitude would be toward video games, knowing that, like, if half of them were going to be, turned into a video in some way. That I wasn't playing because, like, I need to pay attention to what I'm doing because I'm going to be having this conversation. Even when I'm playing Doom, it's like, I'm going to talk about this on Frame Trap. And a lot of times you're, like, actually capturing footage. Would my gaming brain be wired differently if I was just like, just banging through games?
Yeah, it's definitely a blessing and a curse because it's a blessing because it really forces you to be like, okay, I need to check out this, and this, and it's good to have that organization kind of in your brain. But it's also a curse because sometimes that schedule, like there will be moments where you're like, I want to spend more time on this, but I have to go over here, and so you can feel shuffled around a little bit. That's not always the best, for sure.
PS4 SharePlay on PS4 SharePlay on PC is amazingly useful for capturing my gameplay. I SharePlay on PC, then use OBS to record as I play. Without that, and not having a capture card, I would have to stream the game to get my recordings. If you stream using the PS4 feature, then every trophy unlock gets a large pixelated box put over the notification. This looks horrible. No one can read what the trophy was, and no one can read what trophy unlocked. Thankfully, I can avoid that and get a nice, crisp recording. A big thank you, Ben, for recommending Rondo of Blood in your Don't Skip. It was my first proper attempt at a Castlevania, and having got all the trophies from it, I then played through most of Symphony of the Night and have come to the conclusion that I prefer Rondo of Blood.
As someone who loves both, I could see it, man. I get it. Yeah.
It is a fantastic game, and as Ben did, I would also highly recommend it. Love and respect, Bearded Scotsman 86. That also I may be reading too much into this, but like, it also potentially sounds like he's done with Symphony of the Night. I hope you finish that sucker.
But respect to him, because having Rondo of Blood be kind of your introduction to Castlevania,
yeah,
that's definitely...
it was like the 7th Castlevania game I played.
Yeah,
I was
going...
Whoa!
It's a challenging game, so yeah, respect.
This game does not want me to finish it. Jordan Kirk. Hey, Jones and Ben. In the past 2 months have been a little slower gaming-wise for me, though I've still put in a little time grinding out some fatalities in Mortal Kombat 11 and stuttering around basic concepts and dreams. So I thought I'd mix in another one of my passions in this month's entry, music. More specifically, Final Fantasy piano tunes. Recently, I discovered the Final Fantasy piano opera books. Each book contains around a dozen pieces from the trio of games that it covers. These songs are really advanced. A lot of them sound pretty similar to the original soundtrack, so you really get a ton of different rhythms and voices that made me really appreciate the immense level of musical genius that is Nobuo Uematsu. I've easily listened to the 10-minute Dancing Mad for a combined several hours. If you'll allow it, here's another tune from 6 right at the 3-minute mark that I think you may enjoy. We won't. We didn't make that music. You didn't make that music, so we can't play it during the stream. But go check it out. And if you miss it after the stream, I should always mention this at the top, and I always forget to. Go to patreon.com/EasyAllies, see a post called Community Showcase for June. If you click on posts, you can click on the tag for Community Showcase. It'll show you all of the showcase posts. I will make this public after the stream is over, and you can go specifically click this link. But man, when I was doing the Final Fantasy Retro, and I had all of the original scores from the movies, or from the games, then all of the orchestral albums that had come out, and all of the piano albums that had come out, and all I did with my life was just listen to those, just on repeat over and over again. Like, man, oh man. The first time I discovered the orchestral stuff, like, I got chills, like, down my spine. I was like, oh, all this stuff sounds so good.
Yeah, in high school and college to a lesser degree, when I just got really obsessed with music, there were people that I would just listen to on repeat, but one of those groups was the Black Mages, and the first 2 Black Mages albums I've listened to over and over and over and over again, and their rendition of Dancing Mad is just like it just immediately yeah, it's really fantastic. It's even if you're like not that into Final Fantasy, I recommend going and checking out that music. I think you'll enjoy it.
That'll do it for this month. Good games are definitely a-coming. E3 is here, baby. Until next time. I was going back, I cut our E3 promo for our schedule, and I grabbed the interview with, that you did with the guy playing guitar.
Yeah, it was Tak Fuji.
Right.
Yeah, this is for Gallo.
And
it's a fun interview.
I love when the interview starts, and he's like, so I'm a big fan of heavy metal, and you're like, me too, and he's like, no, and you're like, no, I am.
Yeah.
How can I tell you this?
Yeah.
How can I prove to you
Absolutely
that I love metal very much? And you were like, I love Metallica. Do you like Metallica? And he was already on talking about the game.
Yep.
Like he liked it.
No. Yeah, he had such a good, fun, playful energy in that interview.
Master Pants. Hi, Brandon and Ben and all. Writing this on Monday. I'm working extra hard here, trying to get laid off from my job in time for E3. I have a seasonal job, and the current season usually ends during the first week of June. There's a little bit more work this year than usual, so if you don't see me in chat on Thursday, then it's really coming down to the wire. For them is Master Pants in. How's it going, Pants? Give us an update, Pants. For the community showcase, I wanted to share what game I've been playing, and that game is Final Fantasy V. I've played it nearly to completion, maybe 5 times in the past, but never beat it. This time I am determined to see it through. What I really want to share is the challenges I'm doing for my playthrough. First is an easy challenge I do with almost every RPG, no duplicate equipment or accessories. It adds just a little bit of strategy, picking who gets what, and keeps you from getting overpowered too fast.
That's an interesting idea.
Getting overpowered in an RPG is everything to me. Plus, you get a little extra cash flow from selling the duplicate equipment. Second challenge is randomly picking 2 jobs for each character to stick with. I ended up with Dragoon Mystic Knight, Chemist Bard, Samurai Thief, and Geomancer Dancer. The Chemist Bard turned out to be the best combo with buffs, heals, and debuffs. Dragoon Mystic can combine the Spell Blade with Jump, so that's good. Samurai Thief is not the best mix, only receiving slight passive boosts. Geomancer Dancer is not a good mix at all, since the Dancer needs strength and the Geomancer needs magic. I think I'm nearly 2/3 through the game, and I'm having a blast with these not too hard challenges. Thanks for listening. E3, 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 E3.
I appreciate your commitment to getting them all in there.
Amanda actually came into the garage when I was at this point copying all this stuff over into a document, and I'm like, I'm going to read every one of those. She's like, I'm proud of you. Axel, hi Brandon and Ben.
True love.
I'm here to share a little community endeavor that we've been organizing on the Easy Allies forums. Thank you everybody who is chatting away and utilizing our forums. You may use this opportunity to promote the forums. We need fresh blood. Every year, we hold our very own GOTY elections, with each forum member voting for his top 4 games of the year, as well as up to 4 honorable mentions. We then tally the votes and end up with an official ranking. Because we're impatient and want to do this more than once a year, we also have retro GOTY votes, where we pick a past year and vote for its GOTY. So I'm here to present the results for our most recent one, the 2013 GOTY. Feel free to read it as a countdown. It hurts, I can't read it.
Yeah, because you saying that I already know what it's going to be.
I can't.
All right, so number 20, DMC Devil May Cry. Nice to see it represented. Number 19, Gone Home. Number 18, Metro Last Light. Number 17, Final Fantasy 14, A Realm Reborn. Crazy to think that that game came out in 2013.
I know.
Yeah. 15 is tied, Rogue Legacy and Super Mario 3D World. In my opinion, both of those would be higher. Number 14, Batman Arkham Origins.
That's very high, I think. Seeing Arkham Origins ahead of like Gone Home, I'm surprised.
I feel like Arkham Origins has slowly gained momentum amongst people over time.
Some choice moments, but overall,
number 13, SteamWorld Dig. Number 12, The Wolf Among Us. Man, I missed The Wolf Among Us. Number 11, Papers, Please. Number 10, The Wonderful 101. Number 9, The Stanley Parable. Number 8, Fire Emblem White. Man, 2013. That's some good games. Number 7, Metal Gear Rising: Revenge. It should be much higher. Number 6, Ni no Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch. Number 5, Tomb Raider. Number 4, BioShock Infinite. Number 3, The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. Number 2, Grand Theft Auto 5. This is turning out just like the Game Trailers Awards. Number 1, The Last of Us. Rightfully earned, I think.
A few games narrowly missed out on our list, like Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Ouch! Black Flag!
Shooting down through the heart
These are good games, though. You know what I mean? Realm Reborn, though. Oh, that's Reborn. Yeah. I thought that was going to be OG. Yeah, okay. And Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. So shout out. Over a third of the voters picked The Last of Us as their GOTY. There are 2 PlayStation 3, 2 Wii U, and 2 3DS exclusives in the top 20, but 0 PS4 or Xbox One exclusives, despite 2013 being their launch year. Knack received 0 votes. I'd love to hear your comments. Yeah, maybe your own personal picks.
It deserves 0. That's right.
I mean, yeah, you talked about yours on the way down there. I think Black Flag should be on there somewhere. I don't know what I would boot, though.
That's understandable.
You probably Origins. I mean, Black Flag I think is definitely better than Origins. But, yeah, I just can't. Rockstar can't win, man.
Evan and I did play
Rockstar
through,
can't win. They're
Batman Arkham Knight.
$1 billion.
And we're hungry for more Batman. And we started Origins and actually really liked the intro of it with Croc. It was a fun fight, like a pretty creative fight just to throw right at the beginning. Haven't gotten further than that and probably won't for a while now with everything going on. But yeah, hopefully someday we'll have more Arkham Origins thoughts.
Yeah, there's a... do you know who's in it? Do you know, like...
I've heard, like, things. I know Croc is in it. Black Mask.
Right.
Deadshot. Probably missing some.
Cool.
But yeah, I'm going in, like... mostly fresh.
Whenever you're done, it's like we should have a spoiler mode for Arkham Origins.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
There's one, as a Batman fan, there's one specific villain to Batman moment that I was like, that was awesome. That like was different than I had seen that like type of Batman moment done before. Mm-hmm. We'll leave it at that. Jesse Blue, hi Brandon and Ben. Ben, I want to tell you how amazing I think your programs are.
Oh, thank you.
Your tabletop shows are creative, inspired, and well thought out, and though not perfectly executed. Oops, my bad. That was on me.
No, that's correct.
Yeah. Perfect for the allies and fans to participate in and watch. Frame Trap is informative, well-researched, delightful, and humorous. You speak eloquently and intelligently when appearing on other programs such as the Easy A Podcast or Spoiler Mode. Your reviews are well-written and look at aspects of games that some reviews don't even mention. As a journalist and writer, you impress me.
Thank you.
Uh-oh, is that our front door? And I know every time I see written by Ben Moore or I see you participating in something, I know I will not only enjoy myself, but I learn many new things as well. Yeah, you can read that here. Starts there. You can continue reading that if you would like. Our front door is beeping.
We're beeping. As a journalist and writer, I know every time I see written by Ben Moore, I see you. This is weird reading this about myself. Or I see you participate in something I know I will not only enjoy myself, but learn many new things as well. And you inspire me to push myself to limits to get what I want in my new endeavor, because not only do you do all of the above, you also stream anywhere from 4 to 12 hours a week. Yes, the streams, those Wednesdays are long, but fun. I know you were getting hyped for E3, and though I'm also getting hyped for it, it is not for E3, but for my birthday, which was yesterday the 5th. Hey, nice.
Happy birthday.
At the beginning of the year, we have very close birthdays, you and I, Jesse. I made a resolution to pursue a career in voice acting, and I'm halfway through my coaching sessions. This has me both excited and terrified. I imagine you guys must have felt this when you decided to start Easy Allies, and then you had thousands of dollars of patron pledges in hand, wondering how to use that money to make your business grow. Over the years, you learn the patrons trust you for how to use that money to make your business grow, and can honestly tell them, this will be great, trust us. And it is. Then you got the studio and had that feeling all over again. My goal is by this time next year to have a demo done and have booked at least one job video. That is so awesome. Like, you can't earn my respect more than being passionate about something and going for it. I don't care if you succeed or fail. Like, you don't meet many people that really go for it all the way, and I just respect that so much.
What's also really great about this that's helped Amanda, because you can imagine Amanda with her career. One day she's like, wow, so many amazing opportunities. The next day she's like, I haven't done enough, I'm a failure, I should back out. Like, it's just really, really tough to stay motivated. And one thing that's really helped her is whenever she looks at the year, she picks like one goal for every, she does voiceover and commercials and stuff like that. She'll pick like one goal for every category and be like, I just want to try for that. And if she doesn't get it, then she knows at least she was trying for it. She tries to make it at least something that it's like, reasonably, I can expect this to happen in the next 12 months. So you having those two goals is great, you know, like, because then you're not being like, I need to be a superstar. I need to really break through. I need to be making money doing this, or I have a career doing this. If you're just like, I want to book one job, doesn't matter what it is, and I want to get my reel done. It's like, yes.
And
great to have those goals.
Yeah, something to kind of just bounce off that. The thing that is the hardest for me is when you are really passionate about something, like a true unshakable passion, you will, without fail, be your own worst enemy. You will never encounter an obstacle that is bigger than yourself. And I it's like the biggest thing that I struggle with. Like, no matter, like, if I make a mistake on something, even if it's just something simple, like getting a name wrong, like, I hate myself when I do that. And I do it all the time. It happens all the time. When you're talking a bunch, you're going to make mistakes. But you can't let yourself defeat yourself.
A classic one. So I have the guidelines for a community showcase saved, and then I'll write out the community showcase post, and then I'll copy and paste those to the bottom of the post. And I always forget, the very top line of that guideline says, the deadline for submissions is this date. And I didn't update it when we did it last time, so it said like April something. And the guys were like, Jones, it's like a lot of comments in the showcase this month. They're like, Jones, April. And I'm like, just...
Yeah, and it's... you just can't fester on anything. Like, and it's hard to do. It's like really easy to fester, and I fester all the time, way too much. But the good mentality is just move on to the next thing. Like, that happened, move on to the next thing, try to make that next thing better. And it's really hard to do, but it's a good mentality. Where was I? Deep down, I know this is a good change for me, and it will make me feel more fulfilled and give me a greater sense of purpose, especially now that my child is going into high school and is basically independent. I look to you, 9, as inspiration that hard work does pay off, and that you're never too old to pursue a dream. Yeah, great mentality. I started with Easy A by watching Tabletop Adventures and then Escapades, and your ragtag band of adventurers drew me in hook, line, and sinker. I wrap this up by saying, for what it's worth, however you choose to move forward, TTE, you should know how much I love the show and will love for it to go on, but only if the whole party wants to. It wouldn't be right if not everyone is on board. You are amazing, Ben, and I can't wait for Season 3, crossing fingers. Love and respect, April at Jesse_Blue_BLU.
I think Ian's cool with me saying this. I don't do like an official thing. Maybe I'll mention it next after E3 on Cup of Jones. But the rumblings of a tabletop mini-series. Based on Aliens. There's an Aliens tabletop game that Ian Hink is studying. He just got back into town, so he is like slowly piecing that together. And he came up to me the other day and was like, check it out. He had like the book all printed and bound. I was like, whoa, going through it. So I don't know how many episodes that would be. I think July is the earliest you could expect something like that. And Ian might get really frustrated with it. It might be like, this is really hard. I can't do this. So I just always put that as a factor, because hell no, I'm never DMing ever. Like that That seems, and like I've done like musicals. I've done performed on stage for hundreds of people, and just like being in a room with like 4 people and DMing just seems unbelievably terrifying to me. I think my brain would just melt.
Yeah.
So much respect for you or Ian, like wanting to actually put yourselves out there and do that. But that was Ian Hank just came up with that. He was like, before he came back into town, he's like, this campaign looks dope, and I love aliens, and of course like I would be down, Hubert would be down, like.
I haven't really had a chance, I guess, on camera to talk about my thoughts since the last episode of Tabletop. So if I could just do that really quickly.
Go for it.
I don't think this will take too long. But we ended season 2, and I think there was a lot of confusion. Like, oh no, are you guys never going to do this again? Do you hate it? Like, do you not want to do this? Like, why isn't this happening? And I get that, and it was nice seeing people have all of that passion. But the mentality that I had is, man, like we've been doing Tabletop Escapades since the start of Easy Allies, and we were doing Tabletop Adventures before that, and it's been wonderful. I have so many memories from doing this, but I think it's important not only for me but for everybody else. Like, we finished a story and we had a great time, and let's take a break and just recharge and get excited and just have that time to kind of close the book a little bit and look forward to something new, and not just do something because like, oh man, we got to do this, but do something because we really, really want to. And I don't know if like a season 3 of Tabletop will happen, but nothing is off the table.
Right.
We have no bad feelings about anything. But I think just for us and for you guys, it's like, it's good, I think, in any creative process to have those moments. Like, you don't want everything to continue forever the same way, because you don't want it to turn into that bad thing. And Tabletop is not that bad thing.
Right.
But just taking a break, collecting yourself, and then coming back when it feels right, if you want to come back, is just, I think, creatively a good decision that you can make. And I'm really stoked that, like, by creating that space, now we can do this aliens thing with Ian, and it could be some brand new awesome adventure. So, yeah, that's just kind of where my headspace is.
Thanks, Ben.
Yeah.
Matthew Pauling. Hello, Brandon. As the man that got me addicted to Disney Infinity, finally, we get into the good stuff. I would like to share that my nephew, who is now 2, loves pulling them out of the display case when he visits and asking, "What's this one?" To which I will reply things like, "That's Hulk. He's very angry and strong." After he has gotten a bunch out on the floor, he will walk over them Benzilla style, knocking them over laughing. They are most definitely made for kids, and they are still completely as they were. So I suggest that you get out the shovel and dig up your Infinity figures. No, they're still buried in the back. Then look forward to being able to share the joy of these amazing toys that younger kids missed out on. I will say, though, that, and this is just one of those things that makes me feel good about being with someone, that you feel special, that is interested in your passions. But we've been doing lots of work to the garage, a little bit here, a little bit there, repainted it, like, so, like the gray paint that we had just behind us, the rest of it was brown, but it was like just the gray, like we painted the whole garage now. Got rid of a bunch of stuff that I didn't need anymore. And to do the painting, we had to take the shelves off, which means we had to take the Disney Infinity figures down. And Amanda was like, "Oh, these are kind of dirty." And so she just surprised me she actually like cleaned the whole set, like all the Infinity figures, like had them laid out on the counter in the kitchen. I was like, but yeah, it was fine. Just recently kind of went through all of them and like definitely noticed the differences, the quality of like 1.0 to 2.0 to 3.0.
I love that Infinity will be something that you always cherish.
And I'm always upset about too.
Yeah.
It's both. I'll hold that in my heart forever.
I hope
the anger, the joy.
I hope eventually it just turns into acceptance and it's just cherished memories. But yeah,
people say I think we're finally at the point where people are going to stop posting. "Hey, do you know they were working on this?" Like, stop it.
Right.
For a while there, it was like once a month. "Hey, look at that Doctor Strange figure." Like, stop it. Hello, Ben. The polar ice caps just can't take the heat out of your Hatakes, but they are so good. So please turn the world into a water world with a soil-based economy. In a sort of recent stream, Blood played a game called Devil Engine. So could Ben please read this?
Oh, sure.
Put a little mark where that starts.
Thank you. Rev, 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 push my devil pedal. Rev, 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 push my devil pedal. There we go. I think it was a better reading of it.
Yes. Thank you, Ben. I'm running out of words, so only a quick shout out to a game I hated but recently got to play with a friend and love, Resident Evil 5. I hate that AI, but I love co-op. Now available on Games Pass. Also a shout out to the Shadow Drop Game Pass releases of Void Bastards and the Outer Wilds. Love and respect. Outer Wilds is a game I don't have time for.
See, I feel but with Void Bastards, I really want to play Void Bastards, but just haven't had a chance to yet.
Man, some people, there's just something about, because you boot up Twitter every single day and you see people say, hey, this game's great, hey, this game's great.
Yeah.
But like every now and then something happens where like I see a comment from somebody and it's like, what, like Chernobyl on HBO.
Yep.
Was not interested in that. Mm-hmm. Just kind of like, well, it kind of looked depressing, and I'm like just finishing Game of Thrones, and so I'm like, I'm watching Star Trek and other stuff, and so it's like I want to finish those first. Like Doctor Who, I still haven't finished last season, so I'm like I wanted to wrap this stuff up before I move on to something new. But I see some people. I saw somebody commenting. They're like, Chernobyl's one of the best TV shows I've ever seen in my whole life. And I'm like, whoa! Like, just knowing that person on Twitter, like, that person, that's Huber talk. That person doesn't, do Huber speak that often. Right. And it's the same thing with Outer Wilds. Some people are like, this is one of the most impressive games. They're like, like, the exploration in that game. They're like, it just never stops being exciting. They're like, I keep being like, what? Whoa, what's under here?
Obviously, we cover a lot of things, and that is our job, and we try to cover what we can. But it's just as far as my personal life goes, I've had to like flip a switch and be like, okay, I can't keep obsessing over the things that I'm not consuming. I'm just going to try to enjoy the things that I am consuming more. Yeah. And it's just like it's the only way to be happy and not have that FOMO feeling all the time. So you have to let stuff go, but you have to let like way more go than you think. Yeah. Because there's so much out there.
But I find because we talk about things so much, that this one tweet I saw about Outer Wilds the other day posted like a minute long gameplay clip, and so I'm just like walking Sophie reading this, and I just like click on this gameplay clip, and I'm like, absorb this, like try to just like squeeze as much juice out of this person's impression of this game to not like totally understand it, but at least like, yes, I remember. If it's like 4 years from now and I never played it, be like Outer Wilds, I remember that.
Point of reference.
I remember that game.
Was good.
Dragon Hunter. I made a trailer for Spider-Man for PS4 last year with the Danny Elfman theme before it came out. You probably can't watch it on the show. We cannot, but I would really appreciate your opinion. I know you have not seen this. I probably should have showed it to you before we started, but I saw it, and so I will now offer notes on something none of you can watch. You can go again, check out the trailer. The YouTube link is on, Community Showcase for June. If you have access to it on Patreon. If you don't, we will put up the post. If you're watching this live, we'll make the post public after this. But I enjoyed it. I will say what I liked. I liked the intro because he used shots of New York that you got from a trailer, I'm guessing. I don't know. They were just, it's like, here's New York. And I'm like, I don't remember this from a trailer. I don't know how you got those shots. Maybe that was like a passage of time cutscene or something from the game that I don't remember. But I thought that was cool. I liked like opening with New York. And then he had like the fun, like the first time we saw Spider-Man when he was by the Fisk building construction site. And then like pans up to him. But constructive criticism. This was a classic one that I used to do when I was first started editing trailers, and that was I had a music track that I liked, and so I put the music track in, and then I would cut everything to that music, but I wouldn't touch the music at all. And so if you're using a popular track, even if you really like that track, like don't feel beholden to that. Like I think the trailer you made was like 3.5 minutes, way too long. Like trailers should be like 2 minutes max. Unless you're specifically like showing something, which is just kind of like a general Spider-Man 4 is fun. But don't be afraid to, cut music up. Don't be afraid to be like, I'm going to, as much as with the video, I'm going to make this music track what I want it to be. And I always have an issue with this, but showing a cutscene where people are talking, but I can't hear them. That always drives me nuts. But a good selection, you put the Sinister Six scene right in the middle, and then you had a scene after that, which I think the crane falling over, which to me wasn't as exciting as the Sinister Six moment. Like that was the big exciting moment, so I would have swapped those two things. But I remember Brian Altano tweeted this when Spider-Man 4 PS4 first came out. He's like, all you do is you put on Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2 from Danny Elfman. He's like, it just makes the game so much better. And I really loved the score in the PS4 game, but it's fun to it's 2019 and we have like 20 different Batman themes. It's fun to like listen to these different things and like they're all great and they're all like Batman, but it's just fun to reimagine that stuff. So it's fun to watch Spider-Man PS4 and listen to Danny Elfman and just have those two things. The old Spider-Man trilogy, how long's it been since you watched it?
Oh, Well, I think I've only seen 3 once, and I don't really have any interest in seeing it again.
3 was on Netflix for a while. That was the most recent one that I saw, and
yeah,
Spider-Man 3.
I probably watched 2
not a good film.
a few years ago. It's probably been a while since I've seen 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But for a long time, I really held Spider-Man 2 in high regard. Like, it's still really awesome in my memory. I'd like to see, upon revisitation, if I still feel that way, but that was a movie I really cherished.
Zachary Walton. Hey, Ben and Jones. The past few months have been interesting as I've sort of found out that I'm not looking forward to that many games this year, except for Trails of Cold Steel. I always do that. And Death Stranding. Until then, I was trying to figure out what I would do with my time. My brain was just like, Death Stranding's not coming out this year. Yes, it is. Supposedly. Until then, I was trying to figure out what I would do with my time. Well, it turns out that the PSN sale for Japanese games just hit at the right time, and I picked up Final Fantasy XIV and its expansions for only $35. I played 14 a little bit about 6 years ago when A Realm Reborn had just launched after skipping out on the launch version of 14. Good call. I enjoyed it well, though, but stopped playing after I got busy with other things. Well, I'm no longer busy, so I thought now is the time. After buying a keyboard and mouse for my PS4, thus making my desk cluttered with two keyboards and 2 mice, I was off on my journey. I was happy to see that I could pick back up where I left off with my level 34 warrior. Now I'm a level 63 warrior, and I've just completed the main story in Heaven's Ward. Congratulations. As a longtime Final Fantasy fan, I thought the narrative in 14 wasn't anything special 6 years ago. It was merely good. Now that I've completed the 2 patches and Heaven's Ward, I think Final Fantasy 14 is my favorite Final Fantasy narrative of all time.
Heaven's Ward story is pretty damn good.
Heaven's Ward and the ensuing patch content especially just hit all the right notes. It's the first time I've seen a game tackle the idea of dark and light remaining in balance and not devolve into sniveling banality. I've heard Stormblood isn't as good, but I'm still looking forward to getting into it before Shadowbringers comes out next month. Finally, I just want to comment on being a tank. It's so thrilling, as it feels like I'm always on the verge of death, especially when I pull too many monsters in dungeons or adds during bosses. I love the relationship I have with the healer and the... wow. A tank loves the relationship he has with his healer.
What?
He wrote it right here.
What?
Did I read that right? I love the relationship I have with the healer and the unspoken trust we have that I'll make sure they never get hurt while they keep me alive. I'm so proud.
I love
That's like how it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
right?
I love... This guy is definitely like... an optimist, and I respect that because, boy, you get some salty, especially in tank and healer roles, you get some salty MMO players, rightfully so.
Yeah,
and it just seems like they hate everybody, and so I appreciate that this guy is really seeing.
And I didn't
the joy and like trusting people.
I leveled a paladin in 14. I never got around to like raiding, but I definitely went in instances in 11 as a paladin, and I remember dying one time and de-leveling, and I got so upset. And like one of our, DPS guys in the group is like, "Dude, it's just a game." And I was like, "I just punch you in the face through your monitor right now. Like it's my free time, man. Yeah. You just stole 4 hours of my life. Like
Let people be upset if they're upset for de-leveling. That's the message.
Sound effect.
That's the message
when
of this
de-level.
showcase.
I love the... Okay, I'm so proud of the job I do in Trials and Dungeons, but I can't say as much during raids. Those 24-man Alliance raids are so embarrassing, as it's hard to coordinate with a bunch of randoms, so I'm hoping I make some friends soon. Hit me up on Goblin in the Crystal Data Center. I'm Miku Raptor Konosaurus. I can't wait to hear more impressions on 14 from Ben, Damiani, and Brad when Shadowbringers hits. Love and respect to Zachary Walton. Again, that's Miku Raptor, M-I-K-U Raptor. One word, Konosaurus. Or Konosaurus, K-O-N-A, Saurus, like, dinosaur, S-A-U-R-U-S. Small Leviathan, Shalom, allies. Today I'm going to talk primarily about the 2 games that are my favorite games of the year so far. I honestly didn't think that I'd have 2 goatees when the year began, but here we are. Both of these, I think this year's goatee is going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's hard. I thought last year's was going to be even more contentious than it was. And so now I'm hesitant to be like, oh yeah, this will definitely be a contentious year because I don't know. I don't know with you guys.
I know about contentious. I just think it's just nothing really. There's just a lot of games I really love, but it's like, wow, nothing really stands out. And it's a bummer. Stands out as like the locomotive, just like knocking everything else aside. Yeah. I feel bad because before this year is out, I'm probably going to have to at least get 60-70% through Sekiro, and that game just terrifies me. I'm just going to have to just watch videos the whole time. Both of these games have one thing in common, though. They're centered around top-knot-wearing, katana-wielding men that kill a crap ton of people. I'll give everyone a little time to guess what games I'm referring to. The first game is, of course, Sekiro. I finally got around to beating it as I took a break to play it the other night right before the final boss, and it took me forever to get back to it. What an insane final boss, though. Easily the best base game final boss in a Souls game, period. And my personal 6th most favorite Souls boss of all time. I feel like the boss quality in Sekiro is very high overall. Hubert agrees. Though I thought that's a trade-off since there's not as many as a whole. Mini bosses was a fantastic addition to the formula, though, and definitely something I hope sticks around for Bloodborne 2, which is absolutely being announced at E3 this week, right? Hey, a person of indistinct and mysterious gender can dream. So what game contends with Sekiro for my personal Goni? Why, you've already heard half the title. It's Katana Zero.
Oh, nice.
That game looks really nice. It just animates really smoothly.
One that I have missed, and I bet I would like that game. Yeah.
When I first saw this game late last year, it struck me as just a stylish side-scroller and nothing more, which was enough to have me interested. But boy, did I underestimate this game. Not only does Katana Zero deliver on slick game feel and spot-on aesthetics, but it hit me with some gorgeous pixel art, one of the best video game soundtracks I've ever heard. If you haven't listened yourself, then you really need to check out some of the tracks like Sneaky Driver, Meat Grinder, and Full Confession.
Meat Grinder is always a good track.
I'm sure. I could almost hear it now. And a gripping story with several scenes that left me genuinely speechless. Katana Zero's biggest problem is, as you might have heard, the ending. It's as if Star Wars ended as the attack on the Death Star began. I might be using that analogy a bit clumsily, which I apologize for, as I haven't watched any of the Star Wars movies, which is something that I won't apologize for. I just don't like watching movies, okay? Let's not get sidetracked. As I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt, and hours from now, we'll be in Star Wars land. Though, given that the developer has talked about a free DLC...
That's pretty hype.
I know, man. Dude, I know! We haven't even talked about that.
The fact that...
I was saving it for somebody brings up Disneyland or Star Wars land, but dude, I'm freaking out.
This is going to be like a life highlight for you, I think. This is not just another visit. This is a
It sucks because I've seen 2 people do it. Rocco from Mega 64 did it, and somebody else did it. But they took a picture from the Falcon, and nobody's around. There's just nobody there. They're just like, oh, it's just me and the Falcon. It's like, what is this? Did you get in trouble for this?
Yeah.
Can that just happen? People are taking pictures inside the Falcon in the hallway. Like, they just let you do that? They're just like, oh, yeah. They're like, while you're on Star Tours, like, yeah, just stand there and just take pictures of stuff. We don't need you to get on the ride so that more people can go through line. Oh, what are we doing? What's going on?
Community!
Even then, I strongly recommend Katana Zero because it hits all of its high points with such laser precision that it's astounding. Since we're just a couple of days away from E3, I'm going to end this submission with my wild E3 prediction. Nintendo's going to announce a paid multiplayer expansion for Splatoon 2. It's too early for Splatoon 3, but the franchise has too much momentum to just stop doing stuff with it this summer like they said they would. Love and respect, Small Leviathan. We shall see. Too early for Splatoon 3. Interesting. I have no frame of reference on that. I do not know. Doesn't feel too early, but I also don't play that game. James Vest. Hello, Ben and Brandon. This last month for me has been a good one. As a teacher, I got to go to the graduation of another group of senior students. I also got to play against my students at the end of the year speech and debate celebration. I am the coach of a speech and debate team, along with being a teacher. I lost in the finals, but it was a blast of a time. I played a good bit of both Smash... Oh, I really want the details there. What was the debate? How, losing to a 17-year-old. I want the info. I played a good bit of both Smash and Tetris. Both were really fun as normal. I also played some Trails of Cold Steel 1, got it right this time, which I hope to finish this coming month. Lastly, one of the coolest things my students do now for the second year is draw on my whiteboard. My students and myself drew 253 different video game and anime characters on my board to create something really cool. It's a community showcase
I would love a
where
picture
everyone
of that board.
showcases their photographs.
Yep. You and I were thinking the
I
same
guess
thing.
I guess we'll just have to take James's word that it was really cool.
Yeah.
This year it came out amazing. I'm sure it did. It's terrible. As the students who drew on the board use it, well, then again, he's got to get approvals from all the students to show it. You know what I mean? He's got to get clearance. They got to sign.
That's just
because it's their art.
Come on.
As the students who drew on the board used ideas they came up with last year when they did the same thing. I love it. Pokey Clyde. Hey there, Brandon, Ben. I just wanted to share some of my E3 predictions and dreams. I love them. Thank you. Starting with predictions, here's Microsoft.
Let's get wild.
They will announce a new Banjo-Kazooie game.
There we go. This is what I was hoping for.
It will look fun, and will be a launch title for the next Xbox. I like that look fun needs to be mentioned.
My prediction it will be fun.
Like it being good is
Right. It'll be terrible.
Doubling down, are we?
Yeah.
Bethesda will show a tiny bit of Starfield, in a developer diary type video explaining that they're hard at work improving and revamping their creation engine. At most, 2 people, Photoshop's open, and they're like pointing at a screen, at like a concept art. It's like the most we're getting for Starfield. Square Enix is showing that Avengers game, there's no doubt, but what will steal the show is a Chrono tease. Nintendo will reveal the next Smash DLC character, Banjo. Now on to my E3 dreams, Dark Cloud 3. I honestly think this is coming, but it's still just a bit too early still. They'll most likely show it between TGS 2019 and 2020. Mischief Makers 2, make it happen, please. Mischief Makers.
Yeah. In 64.
Okay. Ooh.
Yeah. I just know what it is.
Mischief Makers. There are many N64 games I've never heard of or played.
I love these predictions where it's like, this thing is going to happen. I just feel it.
Yeah.
It's just, I looked at the sky and they said Mischief Makers.
Every year before E3, I check my soul and I ask it SSX and it says no.
Yeah.
Now the craziest of all, an open world action adventure Gremlins game where you play as Gizmo. Yes. Yes, like Dead Rising. Yes. I would love it if there were like achievements attached to it where you could actually control the gremlin population. That obviously would like grow out of control, but it'd be fun if you want, like, dude, on this playthrough, I'm just gonna let him go. I'm just gonna literally see how many gremlins I can like stack into this game.
I really want a new Dead Rising game that has the charm of 1 and 2.
Me too.
I am really ready for that.
I couldn't even finish 2. I had a really sad moment with Dead Rising. I was doing a mission, and I had to go all the way to this other side of the building to get somebody, and I was bringing them all the way back.
Yeah.
And the whole, just this one mission, it'd probably take me about 50 minutes. And they were at the bottom of the staircase. And like, the thing that's so funny about Dead Rising is they literally put like, when you hit the come closer to me, follow me person, they'll say something so you can hear it not working. You'll literally be like, come on, come on, come on, come on. And it was just that. I was like, get out the staircase, get out the staircase. All you gotta do is walk past those people. I gave you a weapon, use the weapon, just come to it. And they died. And I was like, no. And I just stopped playing Dead Rising 2. I'm like, I know I have to do that mission again and I don't feel like doing it. Like,
I get it.
That almost took an hour. Now okay, all right, that does it for me. Let me know what you think, if I'm crazy or what. You Gremlins fan? Did you like Gremlins growing up?
No, Gremlins. I've never seen Gremlins. I don't.
1 or 2?
It's just like there are like a few things from that era that get a lot of hype there. Like I've never seen Goonies either, or Gremlins. So
wow,
yeah, those are big.
Obviously, see Goonies first. I think that'll probably be the major sentiment from you probably want to see Goonies first. Even though I have dumb hatakes about Goonies, but. I've wanted a Gremlins 3 for so long, and there's going to be a Gremlins show. They're doing like animated Gremlins or something. But we'll see. But yeah, Gremlins 3 I've wanted for a really long time. Rolling right past you've never seen the Goonies comments? Corey Jackson. Greetings, Brendan and Ben. Hope you have a great pre-E3. I wish it was great here with the Mario 3 sun unleashing hot and dry weather. We saw that. Where are you? I want to know where you are. We saw a lot of great things this month. Mario Maker 2 Direct. The first trailer for the Dark Crystal Netflix series I can't wait for. A new World of Warcraft trailer called Safe Haven. Even if you don't play current WoW or WoW in Gen, it's worth watching for its amazing animation. Wow, classic beta hasn't even started. If I didn't get in, I love the overall hype for it. And in fact, Blizzard had to make a feature, not a bug list. And in fact, Blizzard had to make a feature, not a bug list. Fills me with joy. It's like a list of like, we're not fixing these things.
Well, no, it's like, no, this is how this works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have been playing a lot of games. Shakedown Hawaii, or I like to call it Brand Manager Sim 2019, where you play a scumbag, who tries to build the entire island using a really shady business practices.
Shakedown Hawaii looks so great.
Look,
I played it a couple of years ago at like the Switch Indie Hype event, and I thought it was really fun. And I didn't like Retro City Rampage, and so I was surprised that I was enjoying Shakedown Hawaii.
Kind of sounds like, I know the games are very different, but it sounds like Tropico a little bit too. You just be like intentionally playing it wrong. But I resent that a little bit. Brand manager doesn't mean like under the shady business practices. Brand manager is like, it's just business, okay?
But it is greasy.
Brand manager, yes.
It's very gray.
Yes.
It's very gray.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Super gray. Shady though? Shady. Wow.
I could see why people would say that.
Also finished Gato Roboto. It combines cats and mechs and is short and sweet and a wild ride through a Game Boy era game. I'm jazzed for E3 Hope, but for some surprise reveals and I hope they make a new Pikmin game. Oh, making a new Pikmin game is my biggest wish. Have a great and safe E3. Easy.
Did that person just say them making a new Pikmin game is his biggest wish? Thank you. Like, not expecting that. Pikmin does not get nearly the credit it deserves.
Yeah.
Not even close.
I had a similar moment with Pikmin 2 that I had with Dead Rising 2, where I just, I had my whole team get destroyed, and I was like, that took me a long time to grow them. I don't know.
Let's play Pikmin together, Brandon.
But I love Pikmin 1. I've replayed Pikmin 1 like 5 times. It's just such a,
nice.
It's like Dead Rising 1. It's just such a replayable game. And I just love, it's kind of like why I love Plants vs. Zombies. I just love that momentum. I love building and moving and exploring. And
Pikmin 3 is great as well.
Yeah, I never made time for it. Is that on Switch?
No.
Yeah. Get that on Switch.
Wii U.
Alex AI. I thought there was another thing. Oh, Gato Roboto. I want to mention this because Bossman full playthroughed it, and it was 4.5 hours his playthrough. And it was funny because I never really thought about this joy because I'm involved in a lot of, I'll be there for some full playthroughs. And I love queuing up a full playthrough you haven't seen, having the person start like, hey, what's up? I'm playing some Gato Robot, and immediately go to 4.5 hours. Like, immediately just then click right at the end. And Kyle's like,
yep.
Just like, all right, that ending's pretty cool. All right.
Brandon, that was how I felt with Neo 2. Yeah. Because I did the closed alpha of Neo 2. And, like, it was going, for the most part, it was just going so well. I was like, okay, I'm getting the flow of this. Oh, what's this cool new thing? And then, like, the brick wall of the boss where it's just like, okay, I guess this is going to be half the stream. Just this one fight.
Steven CT says, nah, it's just Bossman's streams.
Oh.
Alex AI. Hi, Ben. Hi, Jones. How are you today?
I'm good, man. I really like just hearing from the community, like what's going on and how different everybody is.
Yeah.
Like, I never know what somebody's going to say they're excited about or what they're interested in because you guys go all over the place.
I love that Trails of Cold Steel has come up twice.
Yeah, we have a lot
so has
of
Witcher 3, but
Trails fans.
It's
within the Easy Alex community.
When stuff, when a game hits just a third random mention, it's like, whoa. Hopefully fine, and I'm doing well, thank you for asking. Due to getting going to Star Wars Land, feel good. Due to getting a promotion, let's wrap it up. I lost a lot of free time. Due to getting a promotion, congratulations, I lost a lot of free time in the past few months. Did not get to play much, however, my anime backlog came in very handy for the 3 to 5 hour train rides. Here are a few short reviews and recommendations. Watched the sorry, what's that?
No, I just want to say, like, we can't take for granted the fact that you can now just so easily watch anime on a train. We need to be grateful for that. Like,
anime
that's
on a train
so cool.
is a movie. Anime on a train. Watch the 3 seasons. 24 plus 13 plus 24 equals 61 episodes of Food Wars. Nice. I remember Ben speaking highly of the series, so I finally checked it out. Despite getting extremely crazy and weird when it tries to explain the intricacies of taste, it somehow...
That's the best part! When it gets all weird and they're describing how it tastes, is the best part of the show!
It somehow pulls you into its strange world of culinary education where every difference of opinion can be solved in a cooking battle. Very colorful and somewhat educational with a huge variety of fun characters to explore. It will increase your curiosity in the culinary arts. Watched 2 seasons, 12 episodes each, of Gate. The premise: one day a huge gate appeared in the middle of Tokyo and the Japanese government sends troops to explore the medieval fantasy world on the other side of it. What surprised me the most about the series is the level of maturity and common sense used in the given scenario, despite having a fairly cute art style. The series raises some very interesting points about human politics and behavior, while also giving us a broad cast of interesting characters and their development under the bizarre circumstances. Watched Erased, 12 episodes. I love, a fairly short series following one single storyline. It's best to try the first episode of the series to see whether it'll hook you or not. Just to give a very basic idea, it's a series about a young man with a fairly ordinary and simple life getting a complicated second chance to change it. The series made me reminisce about certain choices in my life and reaffirmed my appreciation for the smaller things in it. That's it for now. Hope Easy Anime will be revived someday, as it was very interesting listening to the allies discuss Hajime no Ippo or Devilman Crybaby. Also, fingers crossed that a Shin Megami Tensei 5 gameplay trailer will reveal itself during E3. P.S. Ben, check out Shining Force 2. Alex AI, the SRPG enthusiast.
Yes. Shining Force 2 is one that I've been meaning to check out for like a good chunk of my life and just haven't knocked it off the list. I wanted to say something. You mentioned the Devilman Crybaby episode of Easy Anime. That's actually probably my favorite episode of Easy Anime.
Nice.
So if you only watch one, that would probably be the one I would recommend. I like the Castle in the Sky one too, but I think the Devilman Crybaby one is really good. Somebody said explain it to Jones, the Food Wars thing. So they have these. It's a show about cooking battles, and they constantly are tasting just amazing things from these otherworldly good chefs, and so they have to come up with new ways to describe how wonderfully amazing it tastes, and there are no breaks for them describing this. Like, they'll eat something and then it's like, this is so good, my clothes are exploding off and I am in a sea of flowers, and it's just it's hilarious and beautiful. Yeah, it's like they're like, you like are in their mind and they're like, this is how I'm feeling right now, and just the sensation and the reactions that they have on their faces is great.
Now hold on a minute. Hi allies. Not much new gaming wise on my plate this past month. Katana Zero was a great Switch game I can recommend, and I'm looking forward to the release of Cadence of Hyrule. As for honest thoughts on games and other things, I have a ton of those, so here goes. I gotta write this down. I want to write down that Trails of Cold Steel and Katana Zero were mentioned twice, because I think that's awesome.
I'm surprised that that's surprising to you. I feel like we just have like different perspectives on it.
Not surprising, just it's funny. Like whenever we're done with the showcase, and then Blood will message me, and he's like, "Okay, I'm ready to put up the YouTube version of the showcase. Like, can you just write a description?" I'm like, "What happened?" Like, there's just so much that we go through.
Yeah.
So like, I love pointing out those games that like, oh,
gotcha.
You know, not that those games aren't good enough to be mentioned, just that it's those. Those are the games. As for honest thoughts on games and other things, I have a ton of those, so here goes. I continue to feel nothing for the Final Fantasy VII Remake after the latest trailer. Yeah.
That's so...
bam!
That's one of those opinions that, man, I'd really love to sit down and talk to this person, because I can't even get into their head. I can't understand where they're coming from.
I played it back in the day and thought the game was good, but never had the reverence for it others seem to. I've played worse, and I've played better. Honestly, I think I'm more excited for Oninaki than Final Fantasy VII.
Interesting.
Oninaki's RPG Factory, right?
Yes, that's right.
Here we go. Here we go. Bringing you back. Game of Thrones was maybe the worst ending final 2 seasons for any series I can think of.
Boy, yeah!
It's especially bad considering not just a month before Marvel managed to do the opposite end, their grand cinematic opus was one of the best send-offs ever, showing it can be done. Game of Thrones deserves the criticism and faults being levied against it. They lapped up the praise when people were doling it out, so it seems only fair they get this as well. Though if it could be done in a less childish and mean manner, that would be great, but that's not the internet. Finally, after hearing the allies and other thoughts on the latest Death Stranding trailer, I feel like I might be on an island when it comes to my wants for this game. It's maybe very light combat, if not downright discouraging, if completely possibly large expanses with nothing much in between.
Which game is this, sorry?
Death Stranding.
Okay.
With maybe no possibility of fast travel and weighty, slow-moving characters. This is what I want. An anomaly in the big AAA titles that doesn't play or want to play like other games. I might be the only one happy if the game turns out like I want, but wanted to, but this time I'm okay with that. There's so many grand games that fit the bill for what people are saying they hope this game will be, and near none for what I'm looking for. Give me this one, Kojima. So I'll read that one more time. It's maybe very light combat, if not downright discouraging it completely. Possible large expanses with nothing much in between, maybe no possibility of fast travel, and weighty, slow-moving characters.
Brandon,
it's an interesting want.
It's really weird.
For open world games, I feel it.
Because Kojima is somebody that I've legitimately looked up to for most of my life, and is directly responsible for me being as passionate about video games as a whole. Metal Gear Solid 1, even all this time later, is still my number one favorite game. And I have no interest in Death Stranding speculation. Because I've just been on this journey with Kojima and Kojima games for so long where it's like, I'm not going to... Whatever I feel right now, it'll be so much different when I actually get my hands on it.
Oh, of course.
And so I'm just waiting for that moment to get my hands on it, because whatever I think of, whatever happens, it's going to be different than that. And so it almost feels pointless.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying other people can't do it and enjoy it. It's just for me, I just I won't know until I'm there.
I just imagine you in that second trailer that they showed Like they'll literally just grab you and pull you like into the muck, and you'll just be like,
Yep. Yep.
You know?
Yeah, that'll be my face.
No expectations, just I'm ready. Take me, Kojima. Yeah, I don't. It's interesting. One sentiment. This might be off topic, but like one sentiment that really surprises me is like, it seems a lot of people are like angry that it's confusing, or like there's like this popular joke of like. And again, it's really easy. Like you're writing a headline. I think Kotaku posted a thing where they were like, "Hey, we learned some new bits in whatever that trailer was." And it's like,
I will say a lot of places have been doing that. Yeah. Like so many
just
articles and YouTube videos
games, like,
where they're like, "Here are things we know from Death Stranding." Maybe like there is always that kind of follow up.
Yeah.
Which I find a little weird. Not always, but I've something.
But this like frustration that Kojima won't explain himself. It's like, please don't explain yourself. Like, please make this weird and. But at the same time, like he'll introduce something, and I'm like, oh, okay. I think I kind of understand how that works, but I don't need to completely understand how that works.
I think the thing for me is, like, I expect it to be confusing now, and he's clearly playing into that sense of bewilderment. But like, if I finish the game and I'm like, yeah, that was confusing, and I felt nothing, like that is a valid criticism.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna wait until the game's out. I don't think it's worth being upset. Now we don't know until we actually see that story play out. I
love the pissing icon in the HUD. Like we were just so against it in the reactions. We're just like, no, that's not.
You were against it?
We didn't believe it. Just like
I see.
Like that. No, and chat's like, it is a baby taking a piss. And we're like, no, that's something else. They're like, it is a baby taking a piss. Like, accept it, Easy Allies.
Yeah.
That last season of Game of Thrones had a lot of problems. As opposed to Pruder, I thought about it the other day, and it's because it's just. Ugh. And like it's interesting that like there was so much intrigue in like 1 through even like the beginning parts of 7. There's so much like, oh, I just want to get through to the good stuff of Game of Thrones. So like, just wait. And then like around like season 6, they're like, okay, we gotta go, hurry. And you're like, wait. Like,
yeah,
I think that's the big thing is it's not, you could point out specific characters. It's just general sense of like. Of just like it's like you're on a home tour, and you're just like, oh, I'd love to see the backyard, and you're like, okay, well, just the kitchen. Let me show you the kitchen. Okay, the backyard looks gorgeous. And you like finally get to the backyard, and they just like shove you in the pool. And you're like, okay, like just let me.
Brandon, it is so weird to have something.
Just enjoy this last bit for a moment.
that you could sincerely say like, Game of Thrones was one of my favorite stories in any medium, and. Like, now I just feel nothing. Like, it's just... It's so weird how things can oscillate like that.
Did you ever listen to the audiobooks?
No, I haven't. I've started the first book multiple times, but I just haven't committed to...
Roy Dotrice is really good. They're slow. I mean, there's a big, super dense book. So, like, they get boring. It just happens. But he's done such a good job. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. Played Mozart's dad in Amadeus, if you're curious, like, who that's... If you IMDb him, that's like the one movie role, but he does like a lot of voice work and he did a lot of narration stuff. And he's so good. And Amanda's listening to the series again. She's on book 2. And I'll just be like doing something. I'll come in, I'll hear him in the kitchen and be like, oh man, I love that world, and like I hope it'd be interesting to read those books. Asbo's a Pruder. Good afternoon, gentlemen. By the time you get to this submission, you'll probably heard a lot of other allies' hopes for E3 and the future of games. Meanwhile, my mind has been about 30 years into the past. During a recent cleaning jaunt, I found a box of our old floppy disks. There were the usual suspects: Carmen Sandiego, Wolfenstein 3D, the TIE Fighter demo, a Doom mod where you shot Barney the dinosaur, etc. And then there was also a game that I actually sat on an emulator to play on, the 1990 PC version of The Punisher. I bet Huber would freak out to play that game. Confusingly, there was an unrelated NES adaptation of The Punisher by LJN, also released in 1990. This one was developed by Paragon and is remembered by very few people. But it did a lot of really unique and ambitious things for its time, and I thought I'd give it a little bit of time in the spotlight this month. It was primarily a top-down shooter that could demand no more from its primitive sprites beyond creating the rough approximation of a human. The premise of the game was that you had 15 days to raise $250,000 in order to pay an informant who would tip you off to Kingpin's whereabouts. To earn that money, you had to complete several missions, but you could lose money through property damage or accidentally killing civilians. That's cool. As a child, I thought it was such a cool way to progress through the game and to make your interactions with the environment meaningful. As an adult, I still think this was pretty cool for its time. Other things I still think are pretty cool are 1. It had an open map. All the missions took place in a simplified version of Manhattan. The locations in your instructions could be an intersection, a specific address, or a landmark. Sounds like GTA a little bit. You could go to any of them at any time. They just wouldn't be populated unless the applicable mission was active. And although you couldn't enter 99% of the buildings, each one had a unique address. Number 2, the buildings had storage rooms and bathrooms. Again, we're talking about primitive environments, but they still took the time to include seemingly superfluous rooms. Number 3, your portrait was your life meter. As you took damage, your portrait would slowly transition to a skull, which meant that for most of the game, you were looking at a heavily pixelated half-Frank Castle, half-skull nightmare abomination, which I loved. Obviously, there were parts of the game I hated. It attempted a first-person 3D driving mode that was completely impossible to control, and there was the occasional side-scrolling scuba section that was also trash. But the fact that they tried to include these weird extra modes just endears the game to me even more. Anyway, it was enjoyable to revisit one of my favorite childhood games. Dude, props that like this worked. You know, that like these floppy disks weren't damaged, that the system you were playing on worked.
I wish I could remember the last time that I played a PC game from a CD.
Yeah.
It's been years.
It was enjoyable to revisit one of my favorite childhood games and find out there were still things to appreciate about it. Maybe one of these days I'll actually beat it. As always, love and respect, Asbo Zapruder. Super early. Did you play like PC games? Or like super early PC games when you were a kid?
How early were we talking?
Like, just really obscure, weird stuff. Like Apple IIe was my like first like PC introduction.
So at school, like in elementary school, we did some Apple II stuff, but kind of my first serious exposure to PC gaming was the original Doom. Like that was a big one for me that I remember very fondly. And this game called Time Commando, that was my favorite as a child. It's not a good game.
Yeah, of course.
But the premise of, so you would go through all these different time periods and they'd be like kind of different things that you'd have to worry about. So you'd be like in a prehistoric era, and then you'd have to like use like a spear and stuff. And like you'd have different weapons depending on the era. And I thought it was like, oh, so cool, so ambitious. And I love they had like these CG cutscenes for it. And then after that, my dad was into PC. We would play adventure games together.
Nice.
And a big one for us was Full Throttle.
Yeah.
That was a game that me and my dad shared, and we just adored. We
That's awesome.
ate up that game, and so that was kind of my very early PC gaming memories. So,
The Hobbit for Apple IIe. I think it was like one of the first like video games I ever played. Kyle Lee. Hi, Jones and Ben. This past month has been a bit of a buffet as I sampled a lot of games, but didn't get fully wrapped up in anything just yet. With that in mind, here's some quick one-sentence thoughts. Astrobot, very fun, but VR is tough to adjust to. Invisible Hours. I think I might have to wait until I have a Pro before I can play this because it's too blurry as is. Spectre of Torment. Everything Shovel Knight is awesome, but I'm so bad at it. Gravity Rush 2. Totally awesome. We'll be returning to it soon.
hell yes.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Tekken 7, very cool, but it hurts to return to a series like Tekken to find my main Christie nowhere to be found. Guacamelee, Symphony of the Night with wrestling moves, which means it rules. Mad Max, why is the jump button L2? Is it really? Can you not change that? Boy, I don't remember that. I don't remember having to jump in Mad Max like ever, though. That's interesting. L2, though.
You in Earth Defense Force, you jump with L2.
L2?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, yeah.
Skullgirls, maybe the most fun fighting game, but man is it horny. One game I did end up beating was Knights of Pen and Paper 2. I had been curious about it, looking for a way to fill that D&D itch, so when it was cheap, I picked it up. While it did hold my attention as an effective podcast game, it felt super hollow. When I want to play an RPG, I'm showing up for characters. This game is a grand total of 0 characters. Everyone is just a sprite echoing something you're familiar with, but there's nothing to them. Your group, merely a combination of 3 options. You don't even give them names. So not only is there no characters to attach to, the actual RPG mechanics from battles to leveling up are the most basic takes possible. Aggressively mediocre, but addicting in a mobile game kind of way. But now, we turn our eyes to the future. As this is being read, we are a short couple of days from the beginning of E3. I love E3 so dearly, but unfortunately Sony dropping out has killed a bit of my buzz. This is purely because my dream E3 announcement, my Shenmue 3, is Legend of Dragoon. While everyone else was playing Final Fantasy VII, I was all in for Dragoon. However, I never beat it all those years ago, got stuck somewhere on Disc 3, and have turned my hope towards a remaster so I can finish the fight. Maybe a state of play is going to make this paragraph sound silly. Fingers crossed. What does have me hype? The next Smash character, Link's Awakening, Rocksteady, aw, Retro, Avengers, Control, Jedi Fallen Order, please make this game be good. And of course, that sweet, sweet Easy A coverage. Till next month, love and respect, Goldilocks. Thank you, Kyle. Gotta make that coverage sweet.
It'll be a good E3. It'll be a good E3 for
Oh man, yeah.
It's good. I just I've gone through the, like putting E3 off, like, oh man, I can't think about that right now, to being worried, to feeling confident.
Yeah.
I feel confident in our coverage, and I hope that confidence is well placed.
I actually messaged, I can go back and see this comment to Bloodworth in Slack, where I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to be that interested in many appointments this year. Like, I'm just looking at everything. It's like, this seems like the stuff of the other allies, and I don't think there's anything like, no. I'm booked wall to wall. Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff to see.
Me too, man.
Stepan Hakobian. Hi, Ben and Jones. 2 years ago, I bought a PS4. I skipped the PS3, but had a PS2 and a PS1 before. And right the day I bought it, I encountered a problem. Text sizes were so small it was hard to read, and that was on the biggest TV that I've ever had. I changed the accessibility options in PS4, but that didn't help. The games were ignoring that option. In so many good games, the font size is miserable. Last year, God of War showed how it should not be done. They added an accessibility option to the game in a patch, but even if set to maximum size, the text was still too small. Developers were talking about it, and as I understand, they choose style over readability. 2 months back, I started Persona 5. What a great game. Fantastic style, and I can see and read everything. A week ago, I started Soul Calibur 6. How did they get this so wrong? Libra of Souls is a text-based adventure, and I can't read a single word of it if I don't stick my face in the TV. At some point, I started to skip the secondary quest cutscenes. Fuck! I'm so pissed off right now. Hope E3 will bring my spirit back to normal. I hope so, too. And thanks for the F-bomb. I'll drop those whenever I can. It's fun. Just one sentence, just the F-bomb, exclamation point. Feels good. Yeah, this is one I completely have to step outside in terms of accessibility and be like, yes, for people that are having this issue. I've never personally had that issue, which is why it's like, I've never think about that. Yeah. I actually, style-wise, I remember Huber, when he started Division 2, was like, up the text size. I'm like, Huber, what are you doing with this? He just gets giant subtitles. Like, Huber!
It's definitely something that I've noticed before, but I can't think of a single instance where it's been game ruining for me personally, though it's something I could totally understand would be game ruining for other people.
But I like it. I like experiencing those things where something comes up that I'm like, not an issue of mine, but this is a great opportunity for me to be more understanding and sympathetic to people who do have that issue. All right, the time has come. Dan Allen, hello, Ben and Jones. This month, the Shenmue EZA dub continues yet again. I've got 2 roles for Mr. Ben Moore, if he'd be so kind to read some lines from Shenmue. Your first role is an old man named Yamagishi-san, who was nearly hit by a speeding car just the other day while leisurely walking in the neighborhood. Ben as Yamagishi-san, a slow old man. Oh, sorry. We've been told he was thrown to the ground and hurt his backside. So there's your magic mic. Lean forward a little bit.
It's the role of
with the air conditioning. The air conditioning's on. Let me get this. I'm gonna close the door. Get this as pure as we can.
All right, where does this line start? Okay, I think I see it. Right at the top of the page. Oh, it's you, Rio. Yes, it's much better. But how did you know? Well, it must have been Megumi or Sumiya-san who told you. That driver was insane. This black car came flying around the corner over by Sakura-Gaoka. I'm going to have to redo that one. Sakura-Gaoka. This black car came flying around the corner over by Sakura-Gaoka Park and went toward Dubit. Maybe if there hadn't been any snow. And to make matters worse, I fell over, so I never had the chance.
Oh, old man grumbles. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh.
Good. Grumbles. I think it might be plural. Just to sorry.
Oh. He's like aroused.
Like he's frustrated. Yeah. Just. As fate would have it, Ben, as fate would have it, the speeding black car that knocked Yamagishi-san in his backside was also the car that ran over a cat in that same neighborhood. You play as that cat's small kitten child. Ben is orphan cat, an orphan, a kitten. I need 3 different meows, 4 if you got it in you. Feel free to freestyle, but I've given you a few prompts.
I feel like this person has an acute understanding of me that I do not get to see in most people. Right? So
these are the descriptions of all your meows, but man, just...
I feel seen.
There's no such thing as too many meows. That's all I want to say, Ben.
I need 3 different meows. Meow. Meow. Meow.
What?
Is that enough? Is that enough meows?
Probably not.
Probably.
We need some more. We need numbing sounds. Is that your cry? Feel free to cry as if your cat-based mom was just hit by a speeding black car.
Feel free to cry.
Numbing sounds and a cry, apparently. Remember, you can feed some food.
Numbing sounds?
Yeah.
Oh, chat, this is gonna get real weird. I hope you're ready. And then a cries if my mom got hit by a car.
That's it, man. That is it. Sorry for that. I'm sure that was magical. Thank you for playing along. Shenmue 3 draws ever closer. Happy E3. All of the love, all of the respect. Your friend and ally, Dan Allen. P.S. Ben's other role is as one of the henchmen for Lon D, which means he is also inside the speeding black car that knocks Yamagishi-san on his backside and destroys a young kitten's life. But no,
maybe don't make me run over the cat.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cruel.
Maybe in the future
that's cruel.
We'll have that one, but... very good. Isaiah Sanchez. Hello, Ben. I have a question.
Yeah.
In 2015, you had to cover Wildlands for E3 to miss the Sony conference.
That is true.
Do you still hold a grudge towards Wildlands? I remember you being very bitter to having to go to that event since Wildlands at that point didn't have a good impression. Love and respect. You talking about the new Ghost Recon on Trailer Jones made me remember this.
No, I didn't. I don't think I held a grudge against Wildlands specifically. Although it was definitely not a game that I was like super anticipating. Mm-hmm. But I was actually telling you the other night, for literally no reason at all, I played some Wildlands. Maybe just Breakpoint had it on the mind, and I had like a reasonably good time. But no, like I wasn't interested in Wildlands. But I think what annoyed me more was just the Ubisoft press conference itself. It was very meandering. Right. There was a lot of like. I love when you go to appointment, it's like, okay, here we go, we're going to show you the thing. And obviously they can't all be like that, and they're trying to manage a lot of people. But there was a lot of time, like we were in this hotel space, and I was just doing nothing. I was just waiting around.
Right.
And so I think that's what I hold a grudge to, is I just spent all this time not being with you guys, experiencing that moment with you. So yeah, not against Wildlands specifically, but just that Ubisoft event was not... the best press event.
So that was the Sony Conference of Dreams. That was
Seven 7 and Shenmue.
I was on the 10 freeway.
Oh, that's even worse. You had it worse than me. Yeah, way worse for sure.
It's literally like on the 10 freeway with the phone just streaming Easy Allies like on the side, and I was like, oh shit. Carl Williams. Hey Brandon and Ben, I'm back with more Pokemon anime talk.
Okay.
This month's topic: ranking the Sinnoh rivals. First place is the obvious choice, Paul. He's considered to be Ash's best rival, and based on what I've seen from Paul and all the rivals that come before and after him, I must agree. Paul had Ash's number and puts him in his place time and after time until Ash's plot armor came to collect in the Sinnoh League tournament. More on Paul next month.
Plot armor came to collect is a good sentence.
More on Paul next month, I promise. Second place is Dawn's main Pokemon contest rival, Zoe. She tends to give criticism to Dawn every now and then about her performances in Pokemon contests, but the critiques are fair, and she clearly wants to see Dawn improve. I will say that Dawn should have beaten Zoe in the Grand Festival final, but it was obvious that was never going to happen. If Ash ain't winning shit, neither is Dawn. Third place, Nando, the only rival who participated in both the Grand Festival and the Sinnoh League. Kinda disappointed that he never really faced Dawn in a Pokemon contest and lost to Ash in the Sinnoh League. The man deserved better. Have you seen his look? Only an elegant man like Nando can pull off a barred look and not get laughed at. Fourth place, Barry. Barry can be funny at times, but good God do I find him annoying. And while his Empoleon's defeat at the hand of Paul's Electivire in the Sinnoh League was impressive, look at this badass still standing after getting destroyed by Electivire's thunder. It doesn't change the fact that Paul swept your sorry ass 3-0. Take all those stupid fines you've been dishing out throughout the region and shove them. Fifth place, Jessie, aka Jesselina. Color me shocked. Jessie didn't shit the bed too hard in the Pokemon contests. She managed to win a few ribbons legitimately, and she was top 4 in the Grand Festival. However, I'm still not impressed. Let's talk about those ribbon wins, shall we? You beat Kenny, who was easily the biggest chump rival-wise. You won 2 ribbons by beating a bunch of scrubs off-screen. 1 ribbon came from a contest you didn't even compete in. You got James to dress as you because you were too sick, and he managed to beat Dawn. Clearly his plot armor is much stronger than yours if he can beat Dawn to win a ribbon. You couldn't even get the 5th ribbon by winning. You lost to a princess disguised as Dawn, who was being cheered on by Dawn disguised herself as the princess. The princess gave you the ribbon out of pity. Congrats on that pity ribbon, by the way. All that effort, and you still couldn't beat Dawn in the Grand Festival. You have enough plot armor to beat Dawn in an informal Pokemon contest that doesn't even amount to anything. No ribbon was rewarded, but you can't beat her when it matters the most.
These are...
I live for these.
Yes.
Here's the TLDR
Fire
version.
breathing.
I wish this went on and on and on. Here's the TLDR version. You may be top 4 at the Grand Festival, but you still ain't shit, Jesse. 6th place, Ursula. Simply put, a poor woman's Harley. All bark, no bite. Her outfit doesn't even match any of the Pokemon she uses in the Pokemon contests. Bless Dawn's plot armor for ensuring Ursula didn't make it very far in the Grand Festival. Last place, Kenny. How much does this kid have to suffer? It's cool that he beat Dawn in a Pokemon contest to win a ribbon, but that's his only real highlight. Dude lost to Jessie in a Pokemon contest. He couldn't even make it out of the opening round of the Grand Festival. And just to stomp on his dreams even further, he gets friend-zoned by Dawn. She would rather stick around with Ash than to join Kenny on his journey. He never stood a chance. I don't hate Kenny by any means. I hate you, Kenny, but I do feel sorry for him. He is without question the biggest chump in Sinnoh. That's it for this month. Next time, I will finally talk in depth about Paul with some justifiable swearing. And best Pokegirl Dawn. Bring on E3, baby. Carl. You ain't shit. Spencer.
Your clothes don't even match your Pokemon. I like it.
I appreciate, it doesn't matter if it's Pokemon or anything else. I appreciate the very specifically pointed criticism towards something I have no reference on whatsoever that doesn't try to explain it.
No, absolutely.
It's just like, Paul, right?
Right.
I love that type of
it was very thorough.
Keep those coming. And that was very spoilery, I apologize, but the show's been around for a while. Spencer, Spools of Thread. Hi, Ben and Jones. I've been wildly productive this month with all my writing. But I'm leaving you with some more poetry this month, written for one of the D&D campaigns I'm in as always. My character is finally heading home, and she's relieved. Also, I launched a Patreon of my own because writing resources are expensive, and that's been exciting and very rewarding. Love and respect, Spencer. I just want to say before I read this, thanks for letting me read your poetry, man.
Yeah.
That's intimidating. You read a comment or something. Game criticism, I have experience in reading that. But poems, blah. I'm scared. Here we go. I'm hanging off the rigging of a ship, and I'm hundreds of miles from home, and I'm thinking of a boy asleep in his bed. I can't count down in miles because I've never learned how to track distance over water. I ask the sailors how long our trek is instead. It's 2 months, 8 weeks, 56 days until we dock back on shores I grew up on. I do not think about sleeping next to a boy. I climb the rigging and work from my bed and my food as the time passes. Most of the time, I don't think about the days ahead. There's 6 weeks left, and I miss the color green. The only green is in the captain's more brown than green hazel eyes. There are 5 weeks left, and the ocean has gifted me almost all the colors of blue I could ask to see. I miss a shade it can't give me. There are 4 weeks left, and 1 month feels so much less intimidating than 2. I wish letters could send themselves. There are 3 weeks left, and I cannot stop thinking about how many days are left. 21 feels smaller than 3. There are 2 weeks left, and the captain tells me I'm handy on a ship. I smile. I tell him I wish I could stay to help them on the return. There's 1 week left, and I think the rocking of the ship among the waves feels almost comforting. I couldn't feel close to home. It couldn't feel close to home. There are no weeks, no days, no hours left, and I set my feet on solid ground. I finally let myself think about sleeping next to a boy. I see every shade of green I could want. I sleep next to a boy and do not think... Sorry. I sleep next to a boy and do not miss the rocking of the ship in the waves. Love it. Love the journey.
That's that hit home to me. It made me remember winters in the Midwest. It would be depressing because everything would just be gray for a really long period of time, and I would just want to see color.
Yeah.
And it does. It has an emotional effect on you.
Yeah.
Like being stranded like that. Yeah.
You know what this made me think of, Spencer, is I got to tell you, Ben, that, having the kid in August, so Amanda's, been pregnant for 7 months, and these last 2 months are just like, come on.
Yeah.
Almost there.
Right.
Like, I know E3 is going to rush through really quickly, but it's just like, as we've gotten closer to this, it's like a dream when, like, your legs stop working. It's just like, come on. It feels like...
it's funny because I
feels like
feel
it should happen, like, now. Come on, let's just do it.
I feel like with a kid, you'll never have that sensation ever again.
Ever.
Everything will be way too fast.
Yep.
So
I won't even know what...
Maybe savor it now. Yeah.
Cherish it. Hold it close. Jason A. Sackle didn't play anything new again. So like last month, random thoughts until we hit 500 words. Could be fun. Here we go. E3 is coming and I wouldn't say excited, maybe curious. I'm curious about Avengers and any possible DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3 during Square Enix's press conference. DLC, Kingdom Hearts 3, you think?
It's coming, yes.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know if it'll be at E3, but yes, it's coming.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't have, like, a lot of memories about Kingdom Hearts DLC.
No, I mean, no.
Do they typically not do that? It's, like, never been a thing? Or?
I mean, no.
Oh,
you can count, like, it's not really DLC, but the mobile game, I mean, would have updates and give new content. And Zephyr Moon is right. They would do final mixes. It's not really DLC, but yeah, I think it's a good thing to bring up.
Maybe they'll be ambitious and finally give Kairi actual character? Nintendo? Probably.
God damn it.
Nintendo?
The Kairi handling in 3 is like...
Frustrating?
It's frustrating, yeah, that's the word for it.
Nintendo, probably a new fighter for Smash. I'm sure they'll have a bunch of stuff, though. I just want to see all the dumb stuff they do. I kind of hope they recorded something with Reggie before he left. Just stupid green screen stuff. Having Reggie wearing a Hawaiian shirt sitting on a beach commenting about hell and get to enjoy the direct as a viewer this time. Then they announce Mother 3 for Switch, and it cuts back to him going, really? Stupid stuff like that. Sure, it seems like it would be a complete waste of time and resources, but it's Nintendo. Where else would we expect to see that kind of thing? For Ubisoft, I'm hoping for, but not expecting, another Rayman game. I just want more music levels. Maybe we'll get a surprise and Rayman will be announced as a Smash character at the Ubisoft thing. I don't think I've ever bought a Bethesda game. Could be wrong, but I usually watch for curiosity's sake, hoping for a surprise. Always hoping for surprises. As for Microsoft, maybe that Dragon Ball game Project Z will show up. The past 2 years, they've buddied up with Bandai Namco on the anime front for Fighter Z and Jump Force, so maybe, we'll see. Anywho, how about that Terminator garbage? That series has become irrelevant nonsense. Well, here we go. To quote Cameron, the new film, which in my mind I think of as the third film, he said, in a video promoting Genesis 4 years ago. Touche. Now, this new one is the true third movie in his mind, unless people hate it, in which case he'll get the third film again in a couple years. Are people buying this garbage? The Terminator franchise has become throwing ideas at a wall to see what sticks. If something eventually does, then we may move on to the next couple attempts at a fourth film in the franchise. What else? Via the Shonen Jump subscription thing, I caught up on One Punch Man. I feel like the series has gotten a bit stale. Any chapter without Saitama?
Saitama, yeah.
Saitama? I couldn't care at all. The art done by Yusuke Murata is still fantastic, at least. I tried reading that Samurai 8 series from the Naruto creator. I don't know. There's nothing there that is interesting to me. At least One Piece is still jiving with me. I can't believe that is made weekly. There was a chapter this month that was genuinely heavy. There is something that is gratifying when you can read anything and sit there and think about it. It is just that impactful. This comment wasn't that at all. I still love it, though. Yeah, I'm not. James Cameron's one of my favorite creators of all time, and like, I would like Terminator Dark Fate to be good, but I'm not. Right.
I think that's kind of where I'm at in it. Like, not really expecting anything, and if it's good, great.
That'd be nice though.
Yeah, I still can't find the motivation to even watch Genesis, and yeah.
Miguel Menjivar. Hello, Ben and Brandon. Greetings, allies. Last month I mentioned that I started my Yakuza series playthrough, and I will just say that I'm currently on Yakuza 5.
Nice.
But this month there is no time to talk about that. This month, there's a hype train going at full speed. Yes, I'm talking about E3, and boy, there is so much to talk about. This year's E3 feels different, and I'm not sure if it's because some companies are not present on the hype or if something else is changing that I'm not aware of. However, to be honest, that is not that important. Right now, I feel the hype, so I want to make some predictions and see if I'm correct in some of this stuff. Microsoft. The new Xbox will be revealed and will have two prices, $200 for the cloud version and $500 for the big next-gen hardware. Halo Infinite will be a launch title with Cyberpunk. Fable 4 will be revealed, yes, with the 2020 release, and the big announcement at the end will be an exclusive...
I think they might open with Fable.
That would be fun. If there is a Fable 4 trailer, they will definitely hold what that is forever. They will definitely have like a lot of, like half the audience will be like, oh, it's totally Fable. But like, you know, you won't know until the end. With the 2020 release, and the big announcement at the end of Xbox will be an exclusive Marvel game. Bethesda Doom Eternal releases on September this year. Mikami announces his new game, and it's not Evil Within 3, and Fallout 76 goes free to play. Ubisoft Beyond Good and Evil 2 will be released with the launch of next-gen hardware. A new Rayman game is presented, and with an early 2020 release. Ubisoft announces that they're partnering with Nintendo to develop the next Star Fox, and Far Cry 6 will be teased. Square Enix Episode 1 for Final Fantasy VIII Remake will be released in early 2020 with a promise that every year will be a new episode available until the story is complete. He put Final Fantasy VIII. I think he might mean 7. But hey, it's 8. Final Fantasy VIII will be Final Fantasy VIII Remake. The Adventures game will include heroes outside of the MCU to provide more variety. It will not. It will not. It's an Avengers game. The cast will be small. Final Fantasy XVI will be teased. And it will be a Destiny-type game where you can create your hero the way you want and upgrade based on loot. That I agree with. Nintendo.
We're not talking about Final Fantasy, they're talking about Avengers.
Finally, we will see the unannounced game that Retro was working on before getting Metroid Prime 4. Animal Crossing will have integration with Pocket Camp. And will be delayed to early 2020. Breath of the Wild 2 will be announced. Those are my predictions. Pretty safe if I say so myself. However, there is no denying that if I'm wrong and they announce other things that are far better than what I wrote, I will be hyped like no other. Finally, I hope you guys enjoy this E3. I know it's a lot of work on your side. However, I just want you to let you know that we appreciate very much everything you guys do to keep us entertained. Amor y respeto, Miguel.
It would,
good stuff.
I think it would have to be like a crazy event to not enjoy E3. Like I said, even when it's bad, it's good. Jones, don't mean to interrupt. Would this be a good time for a research break?
Sure. Let's talk about some of that stuff. So yeah, Evil Within, New Mikami being not Evil Within 3 is something that we have talked about. Beyond Good and Evil 2 will be released with the launch of next-gen hardware. Yeah, picking launch titles, I think. I don't know, I'm always really skeptical about launch titles. I think, like, any game that you have heard about potentially being a launch title, I don't know. I'm not feeling it. Because I think those games just don't, especially these games we've been waiting for a really long time, they don't want to pigeonhole themselves into, like, being stuck with a release date that they can't budge. Animal Crossing will definitely have integration with Pocket Camp. I hope that's not like the big thing. Being delayed to early 2020 will suck balls. I don't want that to happen. Doom Eternal releases in September. Cool. Could be. Far Cry 6 will be teased. Will be neat. Actually, we haven't talked about Far Cry at all when we talked about Ubisoft, but that would be interesting. Far Cry 5 was teased at Judges Week, and we didn't get any Ubisoft at Judges Week this year, so... could be. Halo Infinite will be a launch title. Yeah, I don't see them launching with the Halo game. I just see it being delayed. Cyberpunk definitely will not be a launch title for the Xbox. Fable 4, I'm so stoked for, and hopefully, we get some Star Fox news. Would be really great. Damiani definitely thinks Breath of the Wild 2 or whatever it's called will be there. Second time somebody brought up Rayman. I want to add that to the end here. I find that a lot of people are anticipating Rayman. I love that. I love like the multiples. Plenty of people have brought up Doom Eternal. I don't know if you're all just making Ben happy, but let's see what chat thinks. I don't think Pocket Camp integration will be the big thing, just another thing. Yeah, I agree. Square's conference is going to be a ride, Babylon's Fall and all the others. Yeah, it'd be interesting if Babylon's Fall, I could see them totally skipping Babylon's Fall. Babylon's Fall might be like an Avengers thing where they wanted us to know about it, but my hype for Rocksteady has plummeted. I mean, at E3, obviously, but if they're not going to make A3, 8 deserves a remake. I'm not saying it doesn't. I just think there were one too many eyes there. It's getting kind of late on my side. Anyone know if they will react to the BG3 teaser today? What's BG3? Is there? Oh, Baldur's Gate 3? Oh, no. We're not going to. And we didn't do Stadia today. Sorry. Yeah, we're not going to be doing reactions to Stadia. There's just too much going on. We're shooting another thing today. Ian is, we're working on all the tech. We're going to be in here all day tomorrow. So Stadia just picked the wrong day to have their presentation.
Well, I mean, if people want to hear opinions on Stadia coming up shortly.
Sure. They want to know if we're doing reactions to Baldur's Gate, but...
Oh,
we talked about that a little bit before.
Yeah, we did. We actually talked about Baldur's Gate quite a bit on this week's Easy Allies podcast. And we're going to be talking about Stadia. We're going to be recording a frame trap today, and then they'll be up for early access on Saturday, and up for Barry on Monday. So, there will be Stadia conversation.
Nice. David Cleland. Hi, Brandon and Ben. It's that time of year again, the second week of June. We all know what that means. That's right, the Annecy International Animation Festival in France. So every year, this and E3 are scheduled at the same time. And as always, I go to Annecy and tend to miss out on the hype and surprises from the E3 press conferences, usually finding those things out secondhand or from headlines. This takes the shine off the event a little bit, but by the time I get home, I still usually don't know exactly what went down. So it's great to catch up by watching your coverage of the conferences, and with you guys, the hype is pretty much guaranteed. Also, obviously, Annecy is great, which is why I go every year, and this year the theme is Japan. So I will be swimming in anime all week. Last year, I was lucky enough to see Mirai a few months before its official release. Mirai? M-I-R-I-A-I? Mirai?
What's that?
Mirai?
I was just thinking of him swimming in anime. Mirai, yeah.
Which I think Ben may have seen, but I think it's a great watch for any budding parents out there. Congrats, Brandon and Amanda. Also for everyone else, Mirai, no. As it's fantastic. All right, okay.
I just envisioned this friend, hasn't talked to a really good friend in a while.
Right.
And he's like, you know what? I want to check in with that guy. And he calls him up and he's like, hey, man, what are you doing? Oh, can't talk. Swimming in anime right now, man. Let me hit you back.
You can hear tons of voices and sound effects and stuff in the background. Swimming in anime right now. Just a little backlog catch up after last month. I finished SteamWorld Heist. SteamWorld getting the love. And loved it, so thanks for that pick. I think I'm about halfway through Final Fantasy 15 and a quarter-ish through Hollow Knight, and really enjoying them too. I think I'll have finished all the games you and Kyle picked out for me by the next showcase, so we'll report in again then. Love and respect. Have a great E3, Dave Cleland. Yeah, definitely mentioned SteamWorld too. SteamWorld's getting a lot of love. I've never done this, actually, taking notes, because it's crazy. Try to remember. There's a lot of text. A lot of text to go through when the show's over. John Koenig. Hi, Brandon and Ben. I don't have much to talk about our show this month. Spent a good chunk of May wrapping up the first step of my second trip through college with an associate's degree in environmental science and geographic information systems. Think the behind-the-scenes components of something like Google Maps. So now that I'm done with school for a while and transitioning from the panic of final projects to panic over what I'm going to do with my life...
That is a much more intense panic.
I'm ignoring all that and just going to hype over E3. I'm hoping to see something from Retro, obviously not Prime 4, but whatever they were working on before that. That rumored Prime Trilogy remaster would be very cool. More from Link's Awakening and Fire Emblem would also be great. Astral Chain is another game I'm interested in, but I'm looking for one more bit of info or detail to really sell it for me. Link's Awakening, Fire Emblem, Astral Chain. Ben Moore.
Yeah.
Link's Awakening, though? Have we talked about that?
Yeah, we talked about Link's Awakening on the podcast. Yeah. And I adore Link's Awakening, and I feel like there should be more excitement. I mean, a lot of people don't like the look. I'm way into the look. I think it's great. Yes, very excited for Link's Awakening.
I mean, I remember Wind Waker. I personally hated that look. When he jumped on the chandelier in the first teaser, and was like, hey! I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And then, fast forward to me playing Wind Waker, being like, I love this. I love this design. I love how expressive he is.
There's definitely a flip on Wind Waker. Yeah. Astral Chain, though, I guess it just depends on how invested you are in that style of action game and Platinum Games, and I don't mean anything else. That's all I'm saying.
Ubisoft honestly doesn't have much I'm looking forward to, but actually seeing some Beyond Good and Evil gameplay this year would be appreciated. There, you can see the engine running, but we haven't really seen. I'd love to see a mission being played. Don't care much for Avengers, and I've almost no Final Fantasy background, although, who knows, maybe a big blowout on either of those things will get me invested. I'm morbidly curious for the slow-motion train wrecks that Bethesda and Devolver will likely be. At least Devolver will be over quickly. Not sure, will this Not sure if this would show up, but I love getting a look at Hollow Knight Silksong, release date maybe. Finally, my biggest hope and dream is that the rumors are true and Great Rune is real. FromSoft, George R.R. Martin, open world. Count me in.
Yeah, I think we're all on the same page.
Capital
with that.
I-N in. Yeah. Ian Alexander with our final comment before we get into some medias. I was hoping to film a short video talking about my hopes for the Final Fantasy VII Remake for the Community Showcase, but I stayed up until 5 a.m. playing Total War 3 Kingdoms. You know how it happens. You know what I mean? Man, that is a good game. The sandbox nature of how factions interact and how you have to maintain the relationships of your own court, as well as the diplomacy of other warlords, is so engaging. Games like XCOM that give you a lot of chances to tell your own ludo-narrative-driven stories are often some of my favorites, and TW3K does that really well. It's also personally more interesting for me because the game has Chinese VO available, so I can get a little practice with my Chinese. Last night I finally confederated the kingdoms of Wu and Shu Han to become the Emperor of China with all other factions as my vassals. My last post-game goal was to establish order in Taiwan, since that's where I live in real life. I finally got out to the island, and as I looked upon the glorious mountains, the sun was rising in real life, and I could see those same mountains from my window bathed in orange light. Talk about a victory. Luckily, I was able to sleep in today. Haha! From my window. Now about Final Fantasy VII. The narrative of Final Fantasy VII, although it's crazy and weird, meant so much to me as a junior high student when it came out in 1997. Similar to Metal Gear Solid, it has themes of becoming who you want to be as opposed to who you were destined to be. I really think it's a story that deserves to be retold, and I hope they don't lose sight of the story with trying to make it an epic thrill ride. I hope they retain the wacky humor, and I think they can. Just look at Yakuza. The game has a pretty realistic setting, but isn't afraid to send you up against a gang of thugs wearing diapers or defending a Michael Jackson ripoff from actors dressed as zombies. It seems like the game is in good hands, and the characters revealed so far are sticking to the original designs very well. I am very optimistic. Love and respect, Ian at Alexander_Arts.
You know, just bouncing off that, his praise of the Final Fantasy VII story, I think one of the coolest aspects of it is it's not just about accepting yourself. Because there are a lot of stories that it's like, hey man, be you, that's awesome.
Right.
It's not really hollow like that. It shows the characters struggle with it, and they go through a lot of intense pain in that journey to accept themselves. And I love that. I think that's why that story resonated with people so much, is because you do. When you are trying to find yourself, it's not like this easy, like, okay, just be me, I got it all figured out.
Yeah.
Like, it's a struggle. And I think them even touching on that struggle meant a lot.
I can't see a reason why I wouldn't play Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Please
Would that
do.
make you angry if I didn't finish 7 and I'm playing Remake?
No.
Nah?
No.
Just gotta let me know it's different.
Just play and enjoy stuff, man.
Just yeah.
Yeah.
What are you accusing
Come
me?
as you are.
What are you accusing me of, Jones?
Come as you are.
All right. Let's get into some art, baby. Drawings. Eric Jackson, our resident thumb hunter. He goes after that community showcase thumb every single month because he loves to make art of the...
Cool.
I have a piece of art for me, but there's 2 wonderful Ben art coming up.
Nice.
And that he shared on Twitter. I'm curious if you've seen these. It's like, how do I, like, the image you're about to see, how do I not make this the thumbnail of this June community showcase? But it sucks because Eric gets it every time. He comes in with that first post, and it's always something that's like that thumb bait.
I guess.
But man, this might be my favorite Ben Moore art I have ever seen in my entire life, man. How is that not the thumb for June?
That's what I'm gonna look like after I finish this.
I know, dude.
That's gonna be my face.
I know, dude. Cause like,
I love this so much.
But here's the thing: is like
it's Roy Campbell Ben.
I know I'm 40, so like I wonder, like, God, well, I'm 50. Like, are people gonna, want to listen to me on a gaming podcast? Like, is this something where I could still talk about Animal Crossing or like games? I don't know.
Everybody else is getting older, man.
I think we're gonna test that. It's interesting to see, people kind of like getting into older age, and some people go into consulting, some people still stick around and do hosts and stuff like that. This like grizzled, war-torn 50-year-old Ben Moore. Talking about, Death Stranding 5, like, yes. Yes.
That's how I'm going to feel after Game of the Year. Like, I'm just going to be
this Ben has seen face.
Yeah, I'm going to be a more grizzled person after go to 2019.
Oh, really good. I mean, I'll read this from Eric.
That is so good.
To To answer Kyle's question, at juggling festivals, there is open juggling. Often, Eric is also a dynamite juggler. Often a main show with local to international performers, sometimes an adults-only show called a renegade show, and span from around 5 p.m. on Friday to 5 p.m. on Sunday on any given weekend. Sorry I couldn't crank out more art this month. I just completed an expensive move back towards Seattle, so hopefully there's enough quality over quantity. Yeah, that's intense, Eric. That's really, really great. And a super weird one of me, but also equally good, but not making the thumb, but equally good. The silver medal this month. Really good.
Nice.
A celebration.
E3, the Benzilla.
Intimidating.
You feel its presence.
And then just craziness. It's like my album cover.
Wait, what?
With the red eyes.
I'm getting like Death Stranding vibes.
I know, why
the
red eyes? It's a little bit like
the red eyes happen when you see a brand opportunity that is so obvious but they're not getting it. That like it bubbles up inside you and comes out your eyes. That's what it is.
Right. That's it. See, I'm like okay, I'm just smiling at somebody, but I'm feeling the rage inside. You know, I'm feeling the lasers.
That's your Disney Infinity face.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's whenever Disney talks about a new initiative they're excited about. I'm like, oh really?
Oh really? That's nice. Yeah.
I'm excited when
you really honor those initiatives. Some people really invested in that, Disney.
Megan Linhart, hopefully I'll be posting my Twilight Saga Eclipse review, but I've been pretty swamped recently. Oh, sorry, normally I'd be posting it. I've been swamped recently helping my parents paint the new house. They are renovating and filling out college applications, so it's just going to be an art post this month. Good luck with the college applications. Don't worry, I'll have a review for you next time, but these attached are some of my first ever digital pieces I've done.
Digital piece.
Digital piece.
Hey man, this is my digital piece.
Oh my goodness, wait, I didn't even click this one off, sorry. Get out of there, brand manager. Yeah.
I want to know more.
I know. Would you like to know more?
Yeah.
I've just got an iPad recently to start drawing on it, and it's been really fun. I think they turned out okay. In this bunch, I have a portrait of Joker from Persona 5, a romantic scene between Sean and Finn from Life is Strange 2, which I'm assuming this is, a couple of cute slimes from Slime Rancher, a Big B Wolf portrait from A Wolf Among Us, and some Spider-Man PS4 art. Hope you guys enjoy.
Cool.
So yeah, we can definitely tell. I can now tell what these are, so that's Life is Strange. Yeah.
That is really good. That is
really,
a fantastic Joker.
Yeah,
well
look at I love the eyes.
Yeah.
I think those eyes
I love
really
the
good.
hair.
There's a lot going on.
Well done.
Yeah. One of the things I like about this too is like I kind of like it as is. You know, like there's not like a ton of detail to it, but I just love how focused the eyes are and how everything else is kind of minimalist. I really dig it. Yeah.
The one in the back.
Yes.
Yeah. The red guy.
Really good.
Very good.
Really, really good.
Man, Wolf Among Us deserves more. It's like with you in Infinity. Like I just get sad when I see it. Like, I want to just feel good, but I just feel sad.
But I really like this too because it's that is the style. That's not kind of like an interpretation of Big B. Like that's very good. Straight out of the game. Mm-hmm. I just want to thank you all ahead of time for all the hard work, and I know you will be putting into the E3 this year. Words can't express how much you guys make me happy, and really make me feel like I'm part of this amazing community that loves and accepts me for who I am. Thank you. Please take care. P.S. Holy jeez, that SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom remaster announcement. My E3 dream has come true. It hasn't even started yet.
Man, this is like Battle for Bikini Bottom is so cool for me because I really enjoyed SpongeBob
as you talk about that
as a kid.
Spider-Man.
And people treat Battle for Bikini Bottom with like this reverence. They just love it. And I have zero experience with it. I've like watched YouTube videos of people playing it, but I'm excited to check it out. I want to understand the fascination where people are coming from.
I think it's just like a solid, not the best, but just like a solid Mario title in that it's constantly new stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're not like, oh god, another one of these dumb challenges again. It's like what is this rotating thing?
But
what is
that's
happening?
The thing with Battle for Bikini Bottom is like I was reading a comment and somebody was like, no, it's just okay. But you have the defenders, man, where they're like, no, Battle for Bikini Bottom is amazing. And when you have that that fandom for something, I find it so interesting and curious. No, it's not just okay. It's the best 6 I've ever played.
No. You know who's really excited for Bikini Bottom is Amanda. She's a big Bikini Bottom fan when it came out, yeah.
Oh.
Loved it. There's one part of Bikini Bottom.
The Amanda lore.
She
Never know where it's gonna go.
She holds over my head all the time. Which there was one. She's like, I'm having problems with this part. And I was like, okay, let me try it for you. And it was really tricky because it was like these spinning, rotating platforms. So they were moving around a center pole, but also spinning on like their own weird axis. And then there was like this electronic, there were like 3 little electro like lines that were spinning around too that you constantly had to jump over. So you're moving from each platform, but you're also freaking out because you have to avoid the electricity. And you had to hold something. There was some other weird. It's why I got frustrated with Sunshine, because there was a lot of like stay on Yoshi bits, and it was like I could get through it. I just couldn't get through it while holding the damn item. And I tried it, and then I think I tried it like the next day, and I'm like, I can't. This is tricky. I can't do this. And then I came home from work, and she's like, I did it. And I'm like, okay, well, I was gonna help you if I had more time. And she was like, that thing you couldn't do, I did it. And I'm like, all right. Okay.
I guess we know who the true gamer is in the
Enjoy it. As far as SpongeBob is concerned. We'll see if she's still got it.
As far as SpongeBob is concerned, he says.
Just saying. I work hard for games. Maxime Giraud, who has some really great stuff. I just want to hold on this first one while we do it. Okay? Just take that in, okay? Okay? Hello, Brandon and Ben from Paris, France. My name is Maxime Giraud, patron since day one, also digital artist. For the first time, I wanted to share a bit of my new series of digital artworks featuring animals. They are basically family portrait to hang on a wall. The panda is me when I was a kid in the 90s. Side story, I got to super quickly give a postcard to Ben one day at E3 2016 during a Mafia 3 presentation.
I remember this. Yes.
To see more, you can follow me on Instagram at Maxime Giraud. That is MAXXIMEGIRAULT. 2 X's. Maxime, MAXXIMEGIRAULT. 2 X's. I would be so happy to have fellow allies following. Love and respect.
This is delightful.
I've had a long week, man, and it's just been one thing after the other, just like kind of nonstop. It's fun though because it's E3, but I was pooped when I was doing this last night and gathering everything, and I laughed so damn hard when I got to this image. And dude, they just there's 9 of these, man. They just keep getting better.
And you know what I love? That's how you feel when you play Tetris on Game Boy. That's how you feel. Just that big dumb goofy face. I love it.
Oh man.
Wow!
Yeah,
these are really good.
I think this one killed me the most.
Yeah. That kind of looks like a combination of East and West, and so that's a little trippy. It's like their faces fused. I want these. That one especially. Yeah.
He's so proud of himself.
Man. He's really proud, but what I like
so proud.
What I like about the dog, right? So the dog is an astronaut.
Yeah.
Way more intense than the others.
Right.
And I feel like he's got a little bit of that stress in there. Like he's happy, he wants to go to space, but he's got a little bit of that stress.
I think also too, sadly, if this is a crew, because there's no way they're sending this guy up to space alone. Like this guy's a part of a crew, right?
Yeah.
I think this is the one that doesn't make it back. You know?
Jones,
because you love him. Because you love him. That's why. That heart, that attachment, you're like, he's so proud. Look at this proud astronaut. Of course. That's going to be the one that he's holding on to him. No! Like you see the dog in space. I don't know why. It's because I love him. It's because I don't want to have that to happen. That's what makes it good writing. That's what makes a compelling story.
But he has to die.
I'm just emotionally prepared for it, okay? That's all I'm saying. 2 days left on retirement. That's the vibe I'm getting. You have one last mission. Oh my god, I think that's the one that ended me. No, this one's pretty good.
Yeah, this one's... Yeah, it's tough because, like, I see one and I'm like, that'll definitely be my favorite. Oh, man.
And we have Michael Huber's favorite coming up, no question. I even wonder if Maxime made a couple of these, but then made an extra one for
Those
Huber.
Those ears, too, just the fur.
Yeah, I know. And how the expression really fits what they're doing, you know?
It does,
like,
it does. These are absolutely wonderful.
Yeah. I mean, there you go. There you go. You can follow me at Michael P. Huber.
Yeah. That should be Huber's Twitter avatar. 100%. Yeah.
Oh, boy. Just really true. But again, like the way the eyebrows are kind of, like thinking, it's just perfect. Like, yep. Oh, boy. I want to know what that red panda's
using that
painting.
Thumb to hold that brush. Oh, man. Jones... Abby and I say this to each other all the time, but we're going to get a dog eventually. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah.
And it's down to 3 options.
Wow.
You want to know what the breeds are?
Of course.
Okay, so if we were to get a dog, it would either be a Husky,
Okay.
a Shiba Inu, or... I'm blanking on the last one. Why am I blanking on the last
Like mini Australian Shepherds, which is okay.
No, why am I... Oh, a Corgi. A Corgi would be
Oh,
the
nice.
last one.
Yeah.
So it'd be Corgi, Shiba Inu, or Husky.
Corgis are cute. I got the sheep, man.
Yeah.
Ben with the sheep.
Yeah.
I love the surprise because
Yeah.
he's so buff. I love the tats, but I love President Tiger. But I love how he's just like he kind of doesn't. He's not sure how to pose. You know, he's just not really sure kind of what the whole thing's going on. He was asked to model, and he's doing this for a friend. You know, but he's just not.
I wonder if
he's gone to the zoo. I love it.
I wonder if he did the concept first or the animal. It definitely seems like he did the animal first.
Yeah.
And then came up with the concept.
But those are just oh man, one more time. Wait, no. Oh, I just
Man, I think I'm gonna have to give it to the koala sax player. I think that's my number one.
Jay Aldiar. Hi Jones and Ben. Here are a few friends I drew for the month of Mermay. I guess you can probably guess where these are going. Mermay. Yeah. Love the duality. Love it. I think this one might be my fave. Grateful Dead style. Pirates of the Caribbean style.
Jones loves death, as we've found out
yes,
on
of
the
course.
Showcase, so
yes.
Of course he gravitates to
very morbid, yeah.
the grim picture.
But it's like, how often do we see a mer skeleton? You know? Really kind of, you know. That's how it works.
Have you walked around L.A.?
They're mer skeletons. It's like every freeway underpass. It's just nothing but mermaid skeletons. Love this one. Just putting the...
Just so peaceful.
Just putting the finger in. Just chilling. Just testing the water. Not gonna go swimming just yet. I love this.
Joy.
That's like a mobile game. You know, that's just like...
Just watering it with the tail is a very nice touch.
Beautiful. I love him, Jai. Thank you. Zephyr Moon, greeting Jones and Ben. Happy E3. For this month, I'll share character reference sheet of the main protagonist of my webcomic. Just a little reminder, I created this character back in 2012, long before I knew of the world's best pupper. Oh, we're gonna have a pupper off. You get a sheep, and this is gonna be a Sophie Ben dog pupper off.
No, they will be best friends. What are you talking about? There will be no competition.
But
it'll just be
what
love.
will the community think?
Well, can't let them ruin it.
It's true. So yeah, there's Sophie Williams. Nationality, Japanese American.
Oh,
love it.
Before I thought this was
Sophie.
like Sophie is a human. No.
Okay. I talk more about this character, why things are the way they are, but that would be spoilers. Now on to a more personal note. Let me get it going. I made. First of all, I want that. I want to eat all of that. I don't want to share that with anybody. On a more personal note, I made this carrot cake for my mom's birthday. She sadly passed away in 2001 when I was only 14 years old. Her birthday was on May 24th, which, coincidentally, was also the day that Ian's father had passed away. So my heart goes out to him and everyone that has lost a parent in one way or another. I also really encourage those that are facing difficult times to watch the latest Easy Update, as it is filled not only with Ian's personal experience with death and the grieving process, but some tremendous insight and advice for those that need it. My dad and I had the cake together, as well as left flowers at her gravesite, as we do every year on her birthday. She was the best person I know outside of my dad, and I know her only wish is for me to be happy. Much love and respect, Zephyr Moon.
Love and respect.
Love and respect, Zephyr Moon. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for, I don't know if that was the first piece of art was just what you had planned to show, but that's wonderful. And if you haven't tweeted that at Ian, I'll make sure to pass that along through Slack. Speaking of Ian Hank, don't know what he's doing at the beginning of July, but he's in my crosshairs because he's been gone for a while for the next showcase. So hoping to get Ian for next month, but we shall see.
It sounds like you're hunting him.
Oh yeah, when he least expect it,
yeah.
And he'll come into the studio. Ah, got you. Ronnie Sill. Hello, allies. Here are some of my drawings with a special picture of my cat Chrono for last. Hope you enjoy.
Good name.
Yeah.
And it's a cat, so guaranteed win.
It's a real good pick, and it's funny, like right at the end of all these things.
I see this as an absolute win.
Nice. Gotta finish
Humanity
it.
Showcase could be all Hollow Knight and it'd be fine by me.
Well. Do you know this dude?
Looks like Jack Frost from SMT.
Okay, maybe Jack knows. Yes. Love it. Yes. I bet that's a really fun style to draw. When you're good at drawing. Yes. Mega Man looks kind of nervous.
Well, he's just mad that Zero is so cool. And he's just having a moment of insecurity about himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tifa! When are we going to see you in Remake?
Yeah, Tifa will be coming up again later in the showcase.
People don't like that I like Aerith more as a character. That very much upsets them.
Oh.
But you know what? It's not changing. This is not changing.
Well, maybe we'll see. We'll see how they're portrayed in Remake. You might like one in the original 7. And
Yeah, there could be. There could be. But right now.
Depends, yeah. And then finally, look at this goober. Look at this guy. Come on now. Come on
Bro!
now. Come on now.
Take it, like...
Come on now.
All right. Can I...
8 pieces of art and slipping in the photograph on top of it.
Can I tell a very brief but slightly crude story about
6
my
pieces
cat
of art.
East?
Of course.
He was on the floor and he was licking his butt.
Right.
And I just was walking past him and I turned to look at him and he like whipped his head at me and his mouth was open like he was panting and it was like he was just like you saw me? You saw me do that? And it was just the funniest thing, man. They give me so much joy. They really do.
And I love too how like Norbert, I'll like be eating dinner with Amanda, and I'll look over at Norbert, and he'll be on the edge of the table, just like, oh yes, hello human. Isn't this world that we live in?
You've come to my realm.
Quite something spectacular. Enjoy your dinner.
I don't mean anything against Norbert, but just because I'm so familiar with Sophie, sometimes I forget that you have a cat.
I know.
Yeah.
He's a stealthy little goober, but like he'll just look like the most wise creature on earth, and I'm like Norbert. Yeah. And then I'll just go back to Amanda. We'll eat a little bit more dinner, and I'll look over, and it's that. It's just like. You know,
yeah,
like
they
head,
do. They go from like
head upside down.
Like they go from like cuteness, grace to just stupidity. Yeah, they have different modes.
Chom Nguyen. Working on color this month. Hi, Brandon and Ben. Thought I would try some coloring work this month. Lesson learned. Color the copies instead of the original. First is a person I saw at Hanami who had a rad hair color. Pink as a base and neonish yellow as for the rest. Of course, I can't do justice to how it actually looked. Second is just a running dude.
I'm getting strong like Cammy vibes from...
Yeah. Just a running dude.
That guy is a JRPG character, 100%.
Yeah, of course I get just for something of how the path with the grass and then the water and then the thing far in the distance, just punch out immediately. I just dun 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 dun. Just a running dude. His head is huge because I really didn't think through when I did the body afterwards. It looks really funny. I like it. Third is a stewardess, which I tried in a different perspective. I really like this perspective, actually. It's my favorite thing about it. I just love...
Oh, yeah.
I love the depth there. Might see some weird shades in the background. Those were red that came through another work, thus I had to cover them somehow. Fourth, it's just an Asian thug, you know?
Punk-ass Abe.
Just an Asian thug.
Cool.
I'm intimidated. Fifth is Kojima, but ran out of ink. He says he ran out of ink, but I'm curious what else was going to happen. Like, what are we missing here? Maybe just the Kojima? I guess that's why. Or I guess like around the top of his cheekbones, it's not like filled in, but I like it.
That's Kojima if he has to spend more than 48 hours away from either Jeff Keighley, Norman Reedus, Mads Mikkelsen,
Guillermo del Toro.
Yep. That's Kojima without his friends.
Can you imagine, deep in the heart of Kojima Productions, being at a desk where Kojima's looking over your shoulder at something you made? Like he gave you a job to do, and now he's perusing your work.
If Kojima,
in his company,
if Kojima looked at me at all, I would apologize. Yeah. If he just made, if
he came into town
eyes,
when he was on Final Boss, when he came into our studio to do stuff for when MGS5 launched, And I like initially we talked to the team and I was like, I would love to just get a photo with him and talk to him. And they were like, no, that we want to be in and out really quickly. And then for some reason they really warmed up when they were there. And we got there and they're like, yeah, we might be able to actually make this happen. And I got a photo. But like, I was like, it wasn't even him. It was just his team. And I'm like, I really don't want to be a pest. Like, I really don't want to bother.
Yeah.
But of course, when they were like, oh yeah, we'll do photos, it was like, like we were literally like, grab everyone. Sixth is, well, you probably know by looking at them. And I actually don't, they might be from an anime or something. I actually don't recognize these characters. I don't know if they stand out to you.
God damn it, Jones.
Are they, I don't know. It just seems like maybe they're brothers or something and they don't get along.
Dante and Virgil.
One obviously is clearly very robot focused. The other one, surprisingly patriotic for like an anime. But I don't know. Yeah. Right over my head.
Too weeb, I think.
Still fighting after all these years. Still all that animosity still there. Seventh is a pirate captain. She was originally supposed to be a punk with a mohawk, but then I just gave her braids and a scar, so I changed her outfit. The color blue was leaking, so it went outside the area. Oh well.
I love this because it feels familiar in a nice way.
Yeah, and I love. I will never experience this. I'm not an artist in this one. I'm not not an illustrator. I can't draw characters. But the idea of just kind of adding features to a face and to shoulders and a body, and then just being like, oh, that's what I drew. Like not knowing like who someone is, like when you actually start drawing them. It's cool. Fun to think of.
I feel like this person has a strong appreciation and affection for like 80s, 90s anime. And
nice,
I like that. And what's great about something like this showcase is every once in a while I'll see things and I'm like, we've attracted the right crowd.
Yeah. Oh, there's no question.
We are resonating with each other.
That's another thing that I enjoy about the showcase. It's just like, this is going well.
Yeah.
This is working out. I enjoy everything. I hate it when we can't show something because of we don't have rights to music, but
it's like
just a girl.
SMT character.
Imagined her wearing different clothes than what she ended up in because I drew her neck all the way down. Also shouldn't have done a lower lip line. Oh, I don't know. Kind of like it.
I like this.
Ended looking bad compared to the pirate lady. That's another thing that I love too is like when artists are just like, all right, here's this thing, and then, of course this issue, and you're like, what? And it's like the thing on her shoulder, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, all right. Like, wouldn't have noticed those things, but I imagine just for an artist, it's just all these dumb things.
I think the hair clips are my favorite thing. They just add so much personality. That and the earrings really
like,
give so much to this character.
Just like you with the script. Like I've read review scripts of yours. You're like, this one sentence, man. And I'm like, it's fine. It's totally fine. But like for you, you're like,
oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh yeah. People don't really get to see how nitpicky I can get with my own scripts. I'm sure it's maddening for you.
Oh, it's not maddening, but I love it because everybody's got their own like creative process. Like. Just in terms of like actually, finally getting that thing right. When I recorded like, VO clip 22 for the Devil May Cry retro, it was like, yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Finally, Ben knows the retro pain.
Yep.
Do we ever hook you into a retro back in GT days for like just to play something or like throw one of the games at you?
My retro experience with GT is actually a lot. So I started the Diablo retrospective. I did the first 2 episodes and then didn't get to finish it.
Right.
And so that was an unfinished project, which kind of sucked. But I'm really proud of those first 2 episodes still, and got to work with Marco, and he did amazing graphics for that. It was awesome. And then I did kind of mini retros. I did one on Majora's Mask, and I did one on Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker.
That's right. Of course.
And those, because I wanted to do the retro format, but we didn't have the resources to do full series, and so that was my kind of way of trying it out. And I haven't watched those videos in a long time, so maybe they're bad, but I was really proud of those 2 at the time.
The 9th is Yotsuba Koiwai from Yotsuba and exclamation point. Same director as Asumanga Daioh. Ended up turning out pretty well in the end. Love, respect, Tirju Enji. Also known as Trim Nguyen.
Thank you, Tirju.
Yay! Love the color in this. I think out of all the colors, man, this one really stood out. Super
adorable.
Guy. Do you recognize any familiarity with this character?
I know of this character, but I haven't watched or read this character. But I really like Azumanga Daioh quite a bit.
Justin Loomis. Hey, Jones and Ben, I'm learning Game Maker, and my girlfriend is learning how to make pixel art. Here's a sprite sheet and a rotation of one of her characters. Love and respect, Justin. Curious why this guy, getting like Beast Boy vibes. Curious though. Curious why this one particular dude.
This character. I mean this in a good way. This character seems like they have some insecurity, and I love getting to know those characters and seeing them grow.
In case you want
just a little bit of
add a spin.
That's nice.
Yeah,
it looks really good.
It's fun to see it animated. And there's their Patreon if you want to check out more of their stuff.
Nice.
And, you know, always good time to mention if you want to download any of these babies high res, if you want to see...
Do community showcases, like, ever make you feel like, oh, man, like, these people have way more talent than I do, like, which is a good thing. I'm proud that we can show all this stuff off. Oh, holy hell.
Yeah, loves... Steph CT, hey Ben, hey Jones, happy E3.
I love this.
This month was pretty big for me. I love his style, man.
Yes.
I love this style. I love it punches. The day one dude we got in the last showcase, but he's just unveiling all of this. This month was pretty big for me. I talked a bit about it in last month's post, but for May, I attempted to undertake a daily anime-inspired drawing challenge of my own design called Anime. I was lucky enough to have a lot of other community members and friends join in on the fun and attempt to challenge with me. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to complete all the prompts, but I got about halfway through, and I'm proud of what I was able to accomplish. I hope to come back and I love just being mad about that. Like, oh, thanks, great.
Yeah.
Didn't have 30? Why you try? I hope to come back and finish the list at some point, but until then, here's all the drawings I was able to finish. I'm curious how many you'll both recognize. Okay. Interesting. All right.
I recognize 4 out of 5. I would say.
Crazy.
Yeah. Maho I'm not familiar with.
Are these any of these game characters? Or is this all anime stuff?
This is all anime.
Oh,
yep.
Okay.
All anime manga. Yeah.
Because I was saying number 4 kind of gives me like Nights into Dreams vibes, but
what I love like that Hisoka is so evocative, and all of these like so evocative of the character. But still definitely its own thing. Yeah. And you accomplish both. Like you definitely put your own spin on it, which is really cool. And man, I don't see that many people get Toriyama's style right, and I think you nailed it. Like, good job. I really think that's impressive. It seems simple, but I see a lot of people really struggle with it, and I think you did a wonderful job.
I also really love how there's 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 colors.
Yeah.
And like it's still so expressive. There's still so much detail and depth.
Absolutely.
To all of it.
And Deku's eyes are great.
And there's more. There's much more. Yeah. Awesome.
Oh man, that Asuka.
I also recently launched my own Patreon account. You can now find and support me at patreon.com/StephCT, STEPHCT. And as always, you can see more of my work on Twitter at StephenCT. Thanks so much. Love and respect, StephCT.
I would pay money for these. These are really good.
And finally, well, here's 2 more. They're going to cut into your wallet. Or 3 more. I love the last one. Okay, the Ryuk I know. Obviously, that's Death Note, right?
Yeah, that's Death Note. Yeah.
And then
Haruhi.
Haruhi,
yeah.
And then the Day 13, I really love.
Day 13, I'm not familiar with. I
like being morbid, as we've established. So I'm a fan of horror.
I would say Haruhi is like impossible not to love. just the style, just the pure aesthetic of that character, I think is immediate level, and then just fun seeing the antics that she gets up to. Yeah.
Really
that Ryuk is really good. Really like what you did with the face. Again, like the same thing with Hisoka, where it definitely hits the things that you remember about that character, the prominent features. But
I love how his eyes are kind of like off to the side, and the heart earring is interesting. Interesting detail. Tej. I remember it being Tej. I hope I got that right. Hello, Ben and Brandon. This month, I didn't have much time to come up with any art specifically for the showcase, so I have instead just grabbed a few pieces I did during anime. Last month, that I liked as well as a Metal Sonic done recently for a demo on my Patreon. Okay. Kicking it off with Metal Sonic, yeah.
Oh, wow, that's really good, too.
Yeah. You know what this is from?
It's from an anime. I haven't seen it, but it's from...
I think that's just really great.
Yeah, Beck. I haven't seen it, so I'm not familiar with it, but it's really good. And then, of course,
yeah,
Vegeta. So, my story a fandom with Vegeta, I would get, as a kid, and keep in mind, I was a child. Don't hold this against me now.
Oh, my boy, certainly will.
But I would get really annoyed at Vegeta fans because it was just my circle of friends, right? It was just my school. I'm not speaking for, like, the wider community, but it was just, Dragon Ball was very popular among my friends. And, like, the Vegeta fans were always the most annoying with their opinions. They were like, no, the Vegeta's the best. Everybody, it was just, like, really adamant about it. And it kind of made me be like, no, Vegeta's not the best. I like Goku and Gohan and Trunks more. Over time, I just couldn't reject it anymore. It was like, no, Vegeta has the best character development out of anyone. He is clearly the best. And so I just had to turn around where I was like, you know what? Those guys, those kids, they were always right.
Hyped for E3 and you guys coverage as well as following along with all the folks on the Easy Art Discord. Finally, for drawings.
By the way, really
good.
Just needs to be said.
It just looks like the show. You know?
Yeah.
It looks like it's pretty much straight out of it. Happy gaming. Boop. Yeah. What up, allies, Ben and Brandon? Keeping things short, I've been working on a new music project I wanted to show off, but it will unfortunately have to wait until next month. And I love the teases. Because it's like, haha, you're going to miss it. But I get them all. I wanted to show off, but I'll unfortunately have to wait until next month. Instead, I thought I would show some of my old Photoshop projects. Not all of these are as great as I remember, but my original intent was to recreate scenes from the games I played growing up as I remembered them, with a mix of original sprites and new updated visuals. Hope you enjoy. So some of these I am not familiar with. Some of these, oh boy, I'm familiar with. And affects me emotionally. Don't recall this. Does anybody know? Curious what chat says about that one. Do you not know
But this image? Yeah, I don't know it either. Always fun to guess.
Uh-oh. XSplit.
Crystallis. Yeah, Denver played Crystallis.
You know what? I should know this.
This feels very familiar.
You know what? When I got the image, I was like, oh, that's pretty. And now that I look at it, it's like, oh,
FF10?
Is it 10? Oh, okay. That's Farplane. Okay. There you go.
Have you played through FF10?
Not like the whole thing, but I started it.
I think you would like it. Yeah.
Yes is correct.
Crunch Strike.
And I just love it. I love the blend. I love it's just a little bit of old, little bit of new. Oh, no. This is actually the first. Xbox kind of buckling on me. What's that?
This looks like Suikoden.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Not like a moment from the story that jumps out?
No. Still Chrono Trigger.
And then...
Just the style... Whoops.
Come on now. And then, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But in the distance. And look, that city looks really cool. I wonder, where you got that city from. It's a really cool looking, just from that angle. It looks really, really neat. And then finally, Mike, just, right up my alley. Come on, XP. Yeah, baby! Yeah! I mean, he's not technically down there when she throws the flower, but... Somebody asked me on Cup of Jones whether, because they added some stuff to this opera over the years that's actually not in the game.
Yeah.
And they were like, do you think they should make the whole opera? And I'm like, what they've given us is great, but it's still like 10% of the whole opera. Like, it'd be crazy to do a full version of this opera. But they asked me if I wanted another scene, what would I want? And I would definitely want a song sung between two generals fighting on chocobos. So they're going around the stage and... Because it's like, you see there's a part where the chocobos run and they just clock that guy and he falls over and then he gets up and sings. And it's like, you don't really think about it because it's a video game and you're like, all right, chocobos. But it's like, where are those chocobos? Do they have like a chocobos backstage at this opera house? Like, do they just, bring them out just for that moment? I'm like, that'd be pretty crazy if you saw like a horse like in a theater. Or are they like chocobo puppets? Like, I would love if they were actually like fake chocobos and there's like somebody with them on the shoulder that's actually like walking around as the chocobo. I've thought about this a lot, Ben. It's basically what I'm saying. But those are really great. Happy gaming. Thank you so much. That is our drawings for the month of June. Time to move on.
That was a very enjoyable segment.
To photos. Yes. Tokyo Slim kicking off photographs. I know Ben loves Japan. Yeah? Over it?
No.
There's only
Just
sometimes
kidding.
you just gotta be international. I mean, you gotta just move on to companies.
No, endless fascination.
It'd just be great if you
Endless
just
fascination with Japan.
just great if you like came in one day and you were like, guys, Switzerland.
Yeah.
We're like, whoa, curveball.
Whoa.
Get
No,
that man on a
it's
plane.
Japan. Whoa!
Whoa! So here's some Japan pictures that I took on my last trip there in February of 2011, right before the tsunami. The Tokyo Skytree was still under construction.
Really great photo.
So that's the Tokyo Skytree, still under construction. I am assuming. I put these in order to the best of my ability. Oh, there it is, still in construction. Love a good waterway. Love to see how like rivers and stuff like that are built into cities.
You
A
really
Shinto
have a talent for photography.
I love the verticality.
Yeah.
A Shinto shrine in the middle of Shinjuku. An older pic, one of my favorites. An older pic, one of my favorites. I've been there. I think. These are wishes that people write on blocks of wood and leave at the shrines. I mean, it could be at any shrine. So, Matsumoto Castle in Nagano prefecture is sometimes called the Crow Castle because of its black walls. I've been to Matsumoto Castle. Yeah. Again, just great framing.
Yeah. It's like something you would see in a book about the country.
Yeah. And I loved the
Just
fish down
fantastic.
below. Beautiful. I would love to go to this. The Sapporo Snow Festival on the northern island of Hokkaido takes place in February, where they create giant snow sculptures. This one was supposed to be the Temple of Heaven in Beijing. I met Anthony Bourdain there that year. Last minute bonus photos of going to see School of Rock at the Paramount Theater in Seattle a few weeks ago. Yeah, crazy tour. But I love that stuff. And School of Rock. Yeah, I'm curious how the musical is. Curious if the movie holds up. I haven't seen that movie in a while.
I really liked the movie way back
fun,
when.
yeah.
Yeah.
Zatvendoot. Hi guys, I recently received a package from Fangamer with a bunch of Hollow Knight goodies I ordered. I had no idea a papercraft set was included.
I should spend more time on Fangamer.
So I was pumped to see it and put it together. You'll see the Knight, Hornet, Quirrell, and Grub in my picks. Thank you for your time, and happy E3. So yeah, love to get caught up in some crafting. So here we go. You got the set. I tried to put these together in order I thought made sense. So of course, it's almost like he literally just popped out. Like he just popped out and started walking around. Yeah. Good depth too on the shot. Good focus. Beautiful. Man, those must have been fun. I'm curious how long that took to put all of that together. And it's interesting. Now I want a Hollow Knight like papercraft game. It's such a fun style.
Any and all Hollow Knight.
Yeah. Ta-da! Oh man, with the collector's edition.
I didn't know that is what the collector's edition looked like. That is incredible.
That's really cool. Excellent. Thank you, Zephyr, dude.
I really like that.
Tim Beshin, follow-up from last week. Also taking us over to Japan, as Tim has been traveling the world. And here's Tim having a jolly time. Just Tim, just loving life.
I like that this is one of the travel pictures.
I like the wolf. 1 foot up, multiple beverages around, snacks on the bed, beer in hand. Love the foot on the wall and the controller. Yep.
Take a vacation.
There you can see me in good old Japan enjoying my beer. But it's not really beer. It's beer like liquor. Looks like beer, tastes like beer, but it's not. Some abomination. We found out at the end of our trip when a Japanese fellow explained it to us. It's only beer when it explicitly says beer on the can. And they are usually fairly expensive. So if you're in Japan, watch out which beer you buy.
Good to know.
Yeah. And get a close-up on the packaging, too.
The brew.
The brew.
I mean, it screams
clear
beer.
and smooth, yeah.
Yeah.
It's even, the froth coming over the side. At 7-Eleven, no less. I love it. Elliot Nee. Hey, Jones and Ben, this is my first submission to the showcase, as in the past I haven't felt I had something to contribute. However, recently I've discovered a new craft that I'm really enjoying, and I thought I would share it. And I'm glad you did, because these rule. Yeah. The first picture is my refrigerator, which Perler's my boyfriend and I with Perlers my boyfriend and I have collected over the past few years. The first ones I got him were the Chrono Trigger sprites for his birthday one year, and ever since we've been exchanging them at holidays. Adorable. Recently, my coworker blessed me with a Michaels gift card, and I thought I had to try my hand at it. The following pictures are Perlers I've made so far. So let's check them out. I love all of these too. Let's see if I can recognize them all. I don't recognize little dino buddy at the bottom. Is that Bubble Bobble?
Totodile, Gen 2, Johto.
Oh, is that Pokemon?
Yeah.
And then of course he has Zelda. What's the by the light switch? What's that thing underneath?
I'm just
Squirtle.
That's another. That's the evolution. That's the fairy Eevee.
Oh.
Sylveon, yeah.
Whoa, nice.
Yeah.
Good catch. These are all ones that Elliot has made. Yeah. Really good. Super good. I love that.
Yeah. Gotta get the pink, white, purple, and rock in there too. Alolan Vulpix.
It's fun and satisfying in the same way that the Gundams were to me, and it's awesome to do during a stream. I'm also thinking of starting an Etsy store because of how much fun I'm having with them. Who knows? Maybe some will find their way into your P.O. box. Thanks so much. Love and respect. P.S. Jones, my name is pronounced just like Elliot. Sorry, Elliot. Hydro Shutterbug on Twitch and Twitter. Hydro Shutterbug. So just Elliot. Elliot me. Thank you. Yeah, I love that stuff. Pixel art seems like something you're like, I think I could be good at that. Like, no.
Yeah.
It's deceptively difficult, I would imagine. Tim Strothman, hey Ben, hey Brandon. At the end of last year, I promised to share pictures of my office once renovations are done and all decorations are set up. Well, in May, I finally got the last posters for my wall. The delivery was a real odyssey that lasted 4 months. Capital O in the odyssey. And since last week, everything is framed and hung on the wall. Therefore, here are a few pictures of my office and gaming room. All right. Love a good space. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is clean.
Love the low shelves, yeah. I'd love to get, I love little cubicles like that. We got a couple of those in the office. I'm thinking of getting a couple more maybe for the
This
storage
just
room.
relaxes me by looking at it. Like, man, you really got your stuff figured out. It's just so nice and ordered and
You know, it's top
just
left.
pleasing.
I think that's Killing Joke.
Yeah.
I think, probably.
Yep. It definitely is.
The wall with my desk and PC is excluded intentionally since it's not cleaned up. Shout out to Russell Walks, who is the artist of all 4 posters and an incredibly nice guy. So let's get into these posters. Yeah, there's some pretty, obviously some subject matter that I appreciate, but it's a fun poster. And hell yeah. Almost makes you like the prequels. Almost. You see the characters and then you start to get emotionally involved, and then you remember, oh wait, that's right.
When I saw Phantom Menace as a kid, I legitimately loved it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I would love that review. I would love to just... Excuse me,
Yeah.
Small Child, what did you...
Yeah, it was like, the lightsaber battles were good. That's where I was at that time.
The last 2 pictures is our dog. That's pictures is our dog Ahsoka. I thought the dog pictures are always appreciated, and here the name fits with the theming of my room. Love and respect, Tim.
Wait, did you say his dog was named Ahsoka?
Ahsoka.
Oh, Ahsoka, okay.
Yeah. But I love,
Oh.
but I love it. So like the set, first of all, that is a gigantic bed, and I love just like right in the middle. So it's just somber. Ahsoka, a very serious dog. No. And the thing is,
that is not a dog. That is a companion.
and I try to think of, because like sometimes you'll see animals that will make human-like expressions. And so like it looks that dog is smiling, but I always try to think like, I'm assuming that because that's like my human brain trying to process that. I don't know. I think that dog is smiling. I think that's just, it just radiates pure dog happiness for me. That dog is having a good time. Ahsoka, you're doing it right. Samo Rosman. Aloha, Brandon and Ben. It's been a while since my last post back in December. The start of this year has been a tumultuous one, and as such, real life has been dominating my focus for the past handful of months. The letter I sent in my current care package goes into greater detail about what happened and what I've been up to, so I'll keep the showcase light and fluffy. It should currently be in your P.O. box. There's also a little game included in the care package, so I would probably open it when it is a full group or close to. We're thinking, because we're going to get some pre-E3 stuff, I think we might do an opening on Saturday, because their Saturday schedule's kind of open, and so after some of the stuff that we're all going to show up for. So if we're watching the Smash Championships, it's like, it might be a good time to crack some boxes. Anyways, I've been slowly catching up on the content I wasn't able to watch since the beginning of the year and having a great time, although a couple of things were quite jarring without previous notice or context. First of all, a huge congratulations on your upcoming little one, thank you. Seeing Amanda for the first time during the Game of Thrones episode discussion dropped my jaw, which was then followed by a prolonged, "Aww." I wish you all health and happiness to come. Awkward transition, but the Devil May Cry neon sign is awesome as well. Where'd that come from? No context. No context. Also, I wrote this in the letter too, but how was Kauai? Awesome. Did you manage to hike the...
Brandon, that sounded like you said, how was Kauai?
How was Kauai? Did you manage to hike the Kalalua Trail, I think? Where they filmed part of Jurassic Park? Not on this trip. I have hiked it before. I felt bad because we were with friends and the friends buckled. They were like, oh, we're really tired. Let's go back. And Amanda and I were like, damn it. So yeah, we have not back since we did that walk and turned around. Didn't do it this time because Amanda was, almost 7 months pregnant. So that would have been rough. We did a lot of walking. I did that a long time ago with a bunch of friends. Went camping there. It was absolutely amazing. Or possibly visit Waimea Canyon. I visited Waimea Canyon the last time I was in Kauai. It was... imagine going to Grand Canyon, you can't see anything. You're like, oh, great. Went back this year, saw it, loved it. Or the Nepali coast, I've seen that before. Would love to hear some details. Haven't been to do much of anything for the month of May. More details in my care package later. So I thought I would share some of the goodies I brought back during my 3 trips to Japan last year. A bunch of them came from gachas, Choco eggs, and figure boxes, while most of the other stuff came from Universal Studios Japan during the major events they held last year. Tried looking for the Disney and other merch I brought from my most recent trip, but it's hiding somewhere. There's also something from TGS, even though it arrived the day after it ended. The only noteworthy thing is that I threw myself back into reading Star Wars books and comics after about a year break, so those astronomical numbers that shocked Huber last time are only going to increase. I would highly recommend that before watching Episode 9 this winter, allies read at least some of the Journey to Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker content that is going to come out in the fall. I read some of the Force Awakens stuff, but I didn't read it until after I saw the movie. They greatly enhanced the movie experience, in my opinion, providing some of the much-needed context to certain characters, locations, and/or events surrounding the movie without spoiling anything. Can't wait to watch your E3 content starting this weekend. I really, really hope Jedi Fallen Order is going to be good. Mahalo nui loa to all the allies. Love and respect, Samuel Rosman, E3 hype. So yeah, lots of talking, not specifics about these objects, but let's go in and maybe we can spot what these are. What's going on here?
This is Monster Hunter. That's Odogaron. That's Dodogma. I think that's how you say that. And then that looks kind of like Mizutsune. I'm not sure if that's... What is it? Looks kind of like Mizutsune. But that one's definitely Odogaron. The Dogma on the right, and I think that's Mizutsune in the center.
Nice.
And then we've got One Piece.
Yeah, that's the thing that I like that I even recognized right away. I think I think on the right to me is the most automatically One Piece. That's the character I recognize. But just this dude half up to like his chest with an long arm in the air with a giant gold hook. Like I'd probably make that One Piece guess, even if I didn't know if it was from Japan. I'd be like,
I mean that's the thing. That's the thing about Oda's styles. Is it's so incredibly distinct. Crocodile.
Yeah. That's the sword guy.
No,
or
Crocodile's
the guy I was explaining.
Crocodile was coming out of the ground there, so he can like turn his body into sand, which is very powerful.
And then of course. I love that. I wonder if there are any other 8 characters like that, but love just labeled Stormtrooper.
I like Squall hanging out with Star Wars guys.
Squall and BB-8. Let's do it. Of course, love it. I love how it looks like it's almost like lighting up. It'd be funny if it was a lamp. Yes,
Luffy.
Very with the big cheeks.
Yep.
Is that just him eating? Is he eating the fruit?
Yeah, that is.
He's got his little meat thing there, obviously.
He eats a lot.
Love those pins. Love the cactar. What is that cactar's head?
What is on the cactar's head?
That's crazy. It's like a gate to something.
I don't know. I don't know what's on top of the
cactar.
Chocobo
dressed up as classes, like just never gets old. Never gets old. And yeah, what's this?
This is Trails.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Feel it. Yeah. Okay.
And I will say, as long as we're hanging on this image, one of my favorite things that happened from my trip to Kauai was there was a Hanalei Bay is on the north side of Kauai. It is I think it has been multiple times awarded like the best beach in the world. It's just this huge bay, there's a huge mountain on the side. You got a resort, like overlooking it, and it's just, just a beautiful, beautiful place to hang out. And they had a festival called May Day by the Bay, and it was interesting because there's so many things you want to check out. I think this applies like to any vacation. There's so many things you want to see. You might have felt this like in Japan, where like there are moments where you're going to go to something that is very tourist heavy, and so you see people from China, you see people from the United States, you see people from French people, you see just all sorts of like, okay, this is where the tourists are hanging out.
Yeah.
But then it was fun. Like one thing I loved that I did in Tokyo that was very not touristy was the fish market, and we got up at like 6 a.m. to like be there like when the fish arrived, when they did the auctions. And like we were in the way, like I was clearly like like guys at hooks are just grabbing like huge blocks of fish like going by me, and it was just crazy to see these guys do these auctions because like the fish came in and everything was nuts, and then 20 minutes later, silence, just you're done, and then we have to wait for like another shipment to come in. So it's interesting paralleling those things of like, I'm going to do this because I think I should do this, and everybody wants to do that, but clearly I'm surrounded by not Japanese people. And then something where you're like, I think it's just me. I don't think there's any other tourists, and I really feel like this was really special.
Yeah, we were down by the fish market area one morning as well, and we got some sushi there, and you're totally right. It was just wall-to-wall people. But it had a great atmosphere. It was great just like seeing so much food on the street that you could try.
That aroma, it's you can't. It's a very distinct.
It was definitely
aroma.
very touristy for sure.
But the thing that was so cool about May Day by the Bay was this was not at all a touristy thing. Like this was definitely like just a local festival. There were a lot of like local schools and you could tell like just organizations of like hula dancers who were coming out and doing their own concerts, and there was one guy who like he was making fun of what's the Disney. Alani, he was making fun of the resort because he plays music there, and he was like, so a month ago I was hanging out with Mickey, I could do anyway, and I was I could just tell he was like, a guy's got to work, it's not my favorite place to be. And neat to think of people that live on the islands that are artists or work on other islands, and just this like hopping around, that like getting on a plane and flying to another island is something you do all the time. God, love it. And I just love Kauai so much. John Wingate, what's up, Brandon and Ben? Wingaticus here. Hope you're both doing well. Last year, E3 was my first E3, and it was a blast. Good to hear. I'd like to share some photos with you all to get hyped this year. Short description of the photos.
Those Huber gifts.
Yeah. This is fun. Saw Ashley Johnson walking around and got this photo of her taking a picture of a giant Ellie.
That's really cool.
Next.
Good moment to capture.
Street Fighter medal I won at Capcom's booth's raffle.
Oh, I thought he was going to say I won it through my prowess. I won it by beating people. That's a great medal, though. I like it.
That is a pretty sweet medal.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Then got a Monster Hunter World poster signed
cool
by
poster.
the producer. Got to see Deadmau5 play at a small E3 after party.
Love that he drew a little Palico there, too.
Nice. Then cool cosplay of Solaire. And I love Solaire's in the Fortnite booth. Oh, yeah.
What's up, X?
And Mega Man, the last one of Judge Dredd, is actually from Comic-Con, but I just think it's a funny pick.
It is.
And I love this idea of...
It's both cool and funny. Or the X one is.
Yeah. And I just love
that is too.
just love him being in character, even though he's like, huh?
Yeah.
If it's anything like last year, E3 2019 is going to be great. Hope to maybe see you there. Love and respect, allies. Thank you. And love when people send in screenshots. This is interesting because it's actually a game that's being created, but this is pictures of a game. It's technically screenshots. Alexander Nilsson Tafsa. Hello, everyone. As E3 grows imminent, I pick up and dust off my annual wish, my biggest dream, a futuristic Blade Runner style 3D Zelda. Ooh, Breath of the Wild with Blade Runner? Yeah, it'd be great. For this month's, I would love to see it like a Fish Out of Water Link story. That'd be cool to see him and like.
I feel like Cyberpunk is gonna scratch that itch. Yeah. In some ways, yeah.
I'd love to share some screenshots from a fan game I've been doodling on in the Unity engine for some time. The game contains emo versions of Zelda and Hilda, the Lorule Kingdom, a big Metropolis-style Hyrule town, a UFO, and some more things I'd love to see in the next E3 Zelda at this year's E3. So this is basically what Alexander's going for. This kind of vibe. So nice. This is a Zelda game, but in there you can see the castle in the background. You see the character there, the Triforce. But it's neat. I've seen some people dabble in some cyberpunk stuff like this in Dreams already.
Oh, cool.
But I love rocking out. I love the piercings. Love the guitar.
Back in the day,
at the gate,
Nintendo Power did this giveaway of this replica of the Zora guitar that you get when you transform into a Zora with the mask. And I wanted it so bad, man. They did this awesome giveaway. They did so many awesome giveaways, but that one I remember, the Zora guitar.
I know that we're probably not going to see Zelda this year, but to cite the wonderful Michael Huber, every dream is real until the end of E3. Please note that this is not a mod or a hack. Everything has been made and replicated by me in various assets from the Unity Asset Store. And a couple other ones. This was my fave because you can kind of get a little sense of the gameplay. You can see it climbing up. And just running around these towers. Again, just the open world sold. Like, that would be very, very fun. And, yeah, just another area.
I like that. That's very interesting.
And again, just, yeah, it reminds me of dreams. Some stuff people are putting together, so kudos for building all of that. That's awesome. And it is time, at long last, for me to ask you, Ben Moore, to put on your headphones.
Da, 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 da!
Because it is time to rock. Beginning with Mason Victoria. There is so much energy in the air here in Toronto. With only E3 a few days away, new Death Stranding, Pokemon, and COD videos popping up out of nowhere, and the Toronto Raptors making the NBA Finals for the first time ever, there's no shortage of excitement for both gamers and athletes alike. My brother happens to be both and is a pure ball of hype that Huber would be proud of. Today, I channel that excitement through music. With inspiration through Ben's Day, Pokemon streams, and the recent Pokemon Directs, I thought I'd write a jolly orchestral piece reminiscent of the good times in Kanto as I remember it in the anime. I hope you all enjoy, and to everyone, have a wonderful E3. As always, I'd love to work with any ally in the community, and you can reach me at Masonachu, Masonachu, on Twitter. Take it away.
Oh, man. This has an immediate Pokemon vibe, yeah. This is you stepping out of the first town, excited about all the joy you're about to uncover. This is before you encounter a swarm of pedos. Like this is the optimism you feel.
Your adventure begins right now.
This is just so professional. I feel like you could sell this. Like you could get work in the industry selling music. Models in Dragon Quest XI, yeah, definitely could definitely fit in Dragon Quest as well. Perfect for Pokemon though.
Love it, Mason. Good stuff.
Yeah. I'm impressed.
Yeah. Kevin Gillet. Hello, Bendon. Get it?
Oh, man.
E3 is days away.
Not
I'm
ready
pretty
for
excited.
Didn't somebody send us the earrings at one point?
Of what?
The Porta earrings, yeah.
Oh, that's funny. E3's days away. I'm very excited. Although this will be the first Easy Allies E3, I won't be able to rip myself away from Central European summertime. Although Monday the 10th is a bank holiday in France, so that's a plus. And I'll catch up on all the EZA goodness I'll miss live in the early mornings and evenings. But today's Ben's Day, so of course I'm going back to Tabletop Escapades music. Congratulations on the second season, by the way. This time, I'm not expanding on a musical idea that one of our fine adventurers came up with on the fly during an episode. Instead, I've tried to make a little background music for Calvede, the city where money is everything, and that the group visited in Season 1 of the show. Hope you like it. Love and respect, Kevin Gillet.
Calvede, it's a fan favorite, and it's also my favorite city that we did. Yep. Because Calvede needs a little bit of seediness, and I think you got that. This is you walking up to get some sweets, approached by a man that you assume the worst out of, but has a heart of gold. Gerudo vibes, yeah, I get that. I get that chat.
Yeah.
This is for sure in the Tabletop Escapades PS2 game. That's, yeah. Tabletop Escapades doesn't get next gen, it gets PS2. I feel like the guitar really grounds it and keeps it in that town vibe, you know, as opposed to like more whimsical grand adventure kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah! I love it.
Yep. Yeah, very good.
This one's a tease. Matt Bolenbach. Ahoy, Mr. Jones, Mr. Moore, and my fellow allies. Originally, I had intended to share a song from Contra this month with the preface, sometimes you just have to get a little metal. However, given the warm, sunny weather, impending chaos of E3, and the eventuality of some easy living, I decided to go in a much more chill, beachy direction. I present To the Sea from The Legend of Mana, composed by the brilliant Yoko Shimomura. Please enjoy. Love and respect, Matt B.
I really like that he has gameplay with this too.
And, like it starts with the game sound effects and then just goes full music.
Now I want this to be the Easy Living 2019 theme song. I think it just fits the vibe we're going for so well.
Gotta remember it.
I didn't play Legend of Mana. Did you ever play Legend of Mana?
I don't play any of the Mana games. That's a lie. I think I played Secret for like 4 years. Like, you know. Just slaughtering chocobos, man. Just cutting them down.
The explosion into feathers is pretty great there.
Stabbing to the music.
I like that somebody says Santana. They're definitely getting that. Yeah. The face.
Big boy. This rocks.
Yeah. This makes me really jealous because I always wished I could play guitar this well. This is awesome.
Beautiful. Nice. Thanks, Matt. VG Junkie. I've been crunching hard on this song because Ben made a personal request.
I did?
I did, yeah. You gotta be careful.
Okay.
What you ask for.
I don't remember this.
I didn't know when he was gonna be on, and it happened to be this month, so I had to rush it. Have some audio glitches that I didn't have time to fix or re-record. I can't hear them. I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, I'm also pretty sure this is gonna get cut off right at the part that took so much practice. Because it's Ben, and because the person on the couch gets to evoke a little bit of power in terms of if we want to stretch something a little bit.
Okay.
We obviously want people to stick to a total running time.
Yeah.
But he is correct. Around the 33-minute mark, it does get pretty juicy. That took so much practice. P.S. Tifa's best girl, and I hope we get a good reveal at the Final Fantasy VII concert or Square Enix's press conference. Happy 3.
Did you say 33-minute mark?
At the 3-minute mark.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we're going to half an hour on this. You
okay,
ready?
I was like,
You ready?
whoa.
You got a beverage?
Oh, man. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
I do remember this now. I do remember requesting this on Discord. Yes. Okay. I think this is at least part of the reason why I prefer Aerith. This is one of my favorite Final Fantasy songs in the entire series. I feel like I come alive just hearing this, man. I love this so much.
That's what kills me about Nobuo is that if you take everything else away, you take all the instruments, you just have one instrument do it, it hits so good.
Yeah.
And then obviously when the whole composition is great. Obviously, the sound of the NES or the PlayStation or the Super Nintendo, it sounds good that way too. But
I don't know if it's fair to say it it's a problem that I have, but something that I encounter in all media, whether it's TV shows or music or just games, sometimes I'll encounter something that hits me so hard, that's so good, that I can't I can't enjoy anything else for a while. Where it just kind of, you love it so much that it kind of creates a hole, and nothing else that you consume, regardless of how good it is, doesn't quite hit you in the same way. And Final Fantasy music is kind of that way for me. It's certainly not the only RPG music that I enjoy by any stretch, but it's very singular for me in a very special way.
This is a live, don't skip. Oh, and worth mentioning, they just released all the Final Fantasy OSTs on Spotify and Apple Music.
Yeah, somebody showed me that and I saw that a headline.
Wow. Yeah. That's where I have a Spotify account, but I don't pay for it, so it's I
do Apple Music.
I get all the randomness.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of into a random supply of Final Fantasy music. It's just you pick.
Huge shout out to VG Junkie. This song is incredible. I adore this song, and I really think you're doing it justice. So I consider that very high praise.
So here's where I imagine this was the part he was talking about. It's like, this part's a little tricky.
A lot of times I feel like you have things in your life that are like hyped up to an absurd degree and like they just can't possibly live up to because it's not realistic. I read about Final Fantasy VII for a long time and just heard people gush about it before I actually got to play it, and like it like shattered those expectations. And that doesn't happen very often. That maybe happens once a year. Maybe more if you're lucky, but
I often think that like I'm just stupidly biased when it comes to 6 because like I had the same thing. Like 6 just blew my mind in so many ways toward like what games could do that I think 6 just ruined 7 for me. You know, it was like if I got straight into 7, I probably would have thought the same thing. But like
that was what was weird, Brandon, is like 7 hit me that way, and 8 hit me that way, and then 9 hit me that way as well. And so it was like, yeah, I'm in.
I just leapfrogged straight to 9. I was like 7, like, no, I'm good. Like 8, like that first 9 trailer was like, here we go. Speaking of here we go, we're kicking off our video clips. Our last category here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Somebody 8, said that they made a video 10, 11. And that they're sorry that it's late. Do we allow that?
The deadline's last night. I mean, we can see where we're at. If you're literally just showing up now, like. I'm sorry that it took you a while to make a video, but especially considering we're already running 3.5 hours for the showcase.
Sure.
If you could put that in next month, that would be great. And always just reach out to me, Twitter, at Trailer Jones, or you can email me, Brandon at Easy Allies, or you can comment just on this last post if you want, or on the next showcase post. Any ways I can make that process easier for everybody to make sure that they get involved. But you got it. Same thing as the 3-minute mark. We gotta cut people off. Michelle Jackson with another game dev update. I must believe you've seen at least one of these, maybe even 2 of these, right?
Yeah.
These are super rad.
I know I've seen at least
and in a lot of ways, they speak for themselves. So.
Hello everyone. I got a new computer this month, so I'm very pleased to finally be able to show you guys some in-game footage. I know this probably goes without saying, but everything you see and hear today is still very much under construction. Okay, so what you're looking at right now is the screen you'll use to jump between different areas in the game. The current plan is for there to be 2 cities that you start with and 5 that you build. The main focus of this video, and what I mostly worked on this month, was the Pipistrel Black Market, which is what I had started on last month. I spent just a lot of time sprucing up the map, working on the menus for each of the storefronts, and the designs for each of the shopkeepers.
Fun.
Landscapes really aren't my forte when it comes to art, and I'm no graphic designer. I don't have any graphic design training. So working on this map and all of the menus has really been quite the undertaking. I'm not fully
Bloodworth getting unfortunately cut off by the cam.
Yet. I still think I have a lot of room for improvement, but for now I'm okay with it. In terms of designing the shopkeepers for this area, it was actually much easier. As is the case with a lot of NPCs in this game, the shopkeepers in Pipistrel are all characters that were cut from the main story, which meant that going in I already had a pretty good feel for their personalities as well as what I wanted them to look like. So in a lot of cases,
this music,
I was able
man.
to just freestyle
Music in this
a
game is
design,
so fun.
and I liked it enough that I could make it final. You may notice throughout the video that each of the storefronts in this area invokes the name of a Roman deity. I don't have time to get into like the whole magic system of this game's world, but magic is considered sort of a universal force, and the way that people interpret it and make use of it depends on their background. So in the nation that this game mostly takes place in, Roman mythology is sort of considered the primary official belief system, though citizens have their own personal beliefs as well. While the rest of this demo plays out, I just wanted to give a brief update on the month in general. I got to play a lot of games this month, but the highlights would have to be Persona 2, Mother 3, Twilight Princess, Splatoon 2, and
Mother 3
Mario
shout
Party
out.
Deluxe.
That's really stacked.
As for anime, I'm watching 3 this season, Bungo Stray Dogs Season 3, Sarazan Mai, and Kimetsu no Yaiba, all of which I would highly recommend. I also got to spend some time working on recipes for Volume 2 of the Easy A Cookbook. The ones I'm most proud of would have to be 7.8, the Busted Trifudgeda, and Kyle's Devil Hair Ramen.
The Busted Trifudgeda.
That's gonna do it for me. I'm very much looking forward to E3 and Easy A's coverage of it, as well as Easy Livin'. Love and respect, everybody. Bye!
Hey, we get to headphones
Thank you
free,
so
bud.
much.
I didn't want to miss that, sorry.
Just adore the music.
It's like, damn, when I've seen all of them, I guess, I crave those.
Sometimes I just want to like reach out to the community and be like, "Hey, how do you compose songs?
Yeah, what the what?
please teach. How do you compose?
I'll make music.
Yeah, just getting into dreams now. It's like, whoa, just like starting to make music, fun tune here or there.
It's impressive, Brendan. What's happening?
Getting headphones for
It looks like yeah.
Oh, got it. That makes sense.
Clutch. Okay, sorry.
Thank you.
All right. Where were we? Sebastian, I'm working on an ARPG in Dreams, which will have an isometric view like old RPGs, but with a modern touch. I do not know what an ARPG is.
Action RPG.
Action? Oh, just action. Okay.
Yeah.
Not a term that gets thrown out. We just call them action RPGs. During the first month in early access, I made the intro for the game and released it in Dreams. I wanted to share it with you and the rest of the community here as well. I love that Dreams is creeping into the showcase. Makes me so happy. I'm working on the game every day and will make a bigger update when there is enough gameplay. Let's see what next month will be like. Currently, I'm creating all scenes for the town you're about to see. When that's done, I'll start with the first quests and dialogue. The intro is slightly longer than 3 minutes. Cut it if necessary. Oh, and hey, Ben, I met you at the Tokyo Game Show 2016. It's been a while.
Yeah, I wonder if it was at the airport because like right after we got off the plane, somebody was like, "Hey Ben!"
I remember that photo.
Yeah.
I remember. Just like, well, that didn't take long.
That's so surreal.
Yeah. Love it. Love it. Stop it.
Sleeps in a hoodie, just like Kyle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get Huber and Amanda. Let's go. Elise is coming too. Nice.
The Ian and Elise.
Yeah. Yeah. Fun. And super excited to pitch, projects that people are working on. So yeah, you can go check that out. Project Vex. It probably just flown right by that when looking at stuff.
Cool.
But yeah, I will jump into dreams. Check that out. Thank you for sharing. Space Channel Dom Jones, I don't add text to these video submissions as a rule, so you know that I would only break that rule for a good reason, and the reason is this: you have to remember to change the due date for community showcase submissions on the Patreon post. It's not April anymore, Jones. Winter is coming. Wah, wah. But here's Space Channel Dom, who lets his videos speak for themselves, and this one is really great.
I remember when Fisk started illegally importing artifacts like this. He bought the local harbor to cover his tracks and laid off the old staff, including my dad.
Is this your own
His
voice
dad
acting?
was here
No,
now to see
this
how
is-
the tables have turned.
You know this game. You know this game.
Oh. It's like, wow, this is amazing voice acting. It's one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, that's cute, and then the more it keeps happening, just the funnier it gets.
She's
My
just
dear,
not a great
I think
reporter.
It's time for you to go. Oh, could I use the restroom real quick? Fine. Follow me. Thank you. This is a really lovely space. It is. And this will be the last time you see it. The lady's around the corner.
Yeah, it's
Of course.
it's way better with the conversation.
Get an achievement in there. Excellent, excellent.
Good.
Didn't even get close to
Good.
knocking that thing over when I was playing the game. I love that. Well, Schmuck. Hey, Brandon and Ben. I figured the 3-minute video limit would be a natural motivator for my submission here. In an effort to keep the Iceborne hype train going full on till September, here is me killing a tempered Nair Gigante in under 3 minutes. In Monster Hunter World. Enjoy.
Nice. Schmuck is a lance user. Like, him and the lance have become one.
I love the hustle.
That disco ball palico gear.
All right, you're on the clock.
Playing on
Let's go.
PC. Hey, you gotta get your buffs, man. Rocksteady mantles, so he's not affected by the roar that the monster's gonna do here at the beginning. Yep, can just plow right through that. Block and poke. Block and poke to victory.
Yeah, man, that thing is brutal.
Yeah, he's breaking off the white horns before they turn black here on Nair Gigante. I love that. Just like, I'm staying in your face no matter what. Like, Greatsword, very hit and run. Because you have that giant shield there, it's like, no, I'm holding my ground no matter what. Made him sleep. Barrel bomb time. Doesn't need to equip flash pods because he's not going to be alive long enough to get up to the air. You know,
it's so.
I don't
it looks
usually
so good.
feel
I feel bad almost. You know?
I don't usually feel sorry for Nergigante,
Yeah.
but those broken horns. Yeah, just constantly making it so he can't do anything. No dive bombs for you. So Brandon, this is a more powerful version of like a flagship in-game monster. And he's just making it look like a great Jagras, basically. And that's the special Lance run. That's yep. And so he's just getting just getting that damage, chasing it down.
I want to finish. Oh, really good. Oh man.
Well done.
Yeah.
Please send in more
Very
Monster Hunter
impressive, very
videos for a
impressive.
community showcase. Does the prance at the end? I like it. Like didn't get to attack at all.
Awesome. Alexander Zurianov with the video series the chat was actually asking about before this. They were like, wait, we didn't miss this, right? This happened, right? And just kudos to Zurianov for going through all of our work and putting all of these together. Easy ally, Ben Moore, take it away.
Isn't that too much for poor Ben? Is always the question. You never know how much Ben Moore can take. Ben Moore piles a lot on himself, and we pile a lot on Ben. And he hasn't buckled yet.
that easy living shot is hilarious. Oh man.
Yes! Because I think Ben Moore, more than any of us, has a passion for video games journalism. Ben, I think, is one of the best writers we have here at Easy Allies.
Oh, Jones, that was so nice.
For reviews or anything.
I've long admired your eloquence and ability to speak. The way you'll say sentences, it sounds like they're well thought out, written down, very well formed, full of thoughts.
Stop licking my ear. Oh man, so cool!
We did it! We did it! Oh my god, we did it! Yeah!
I think it's safe to say we were not handling it as well as Schmuck was. Take me home. I'm stuck. I'm stuck at Fallout 76 here.
Game of the year. And then when you get it, you're masked.
That Morgana.
Blue flame.
Persona Get!
The other
Oh
first
my god!
Is an amazing.
Look at that!
My life in Persona.
Listeners could see the way Ben's face lit up.
Well, you'll never see it coming. So chat, let me tell you about Yakuza Zero.
Showcase.
It's at a very affordable price. It's a lengthy game, and so if you're somebody that really likes to have your dollars make sense, Yakuza Zero is the right game for you. Still true.
You shouldn't have let me play this because now I'm going to buy a PSVR like right now.
And then what would you pay for it?
Whatever.
I would like to disagree.
Oh my god.
What?
Ben, like, what? Jones, this isn't funny. What are we doing? Like, do you know how bad I want that?
What?
It's my Easy Allies camping
My
trip.
big thing is covering more better. So we're shooting tabletop escapades after this, and we thought it would be better if we all came here and did it panel style.
I think Ben is just obsessed with doing what we do the best way possible.
With Frame Trap, I want us to shoot it while lighting an enormous fire.
Got it, Ben.
I don't know why it's so bad.
gonna work?
Cool, and so he's doing one for each.
doing for everyone,
That's
man,
really
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Pull my devil trigger!
That's a few days away, folks.
It didn't work. I hope you're enjoying the episode, audience.
Oh, it's
It just stopped.
It paused.
Yep.
I could have watched that for a long
But
time.
you don't know.
No, it's yeah.
Sometimes there are long pauses.
Somebody said you guys should go camping, and I was like, "Oh, you don't think I want that? You don't think I want Ben, shaking you out of a tent at 7 in the morning?"
Yeah,
You're
like,
like, "What?
"Guys, what? What?"
I want it. Circean Studios. Hello, Circean Studios here as the newest Frame Trap sponsors. We wanted to take a moment to say hello and share a little pre-E3 goodness. See what we did there? In the form of the trailer for our current title, Kansui Fighter. Seeing the EZA team and community grow these last few years inspires us to keep chasing our dreams here at Circean Studios. We are proud to sponsor EZA, love and respect the Circean Studios team. And if you do not know, that is C-E-A-N. I'm assuming Circean Studios, but I could be wrong. But here we go.
Here we go!
Check this out!
Well,
Story mode.
yeah.
Tournament of the Mind.
Ready to roll!
Let's see what you're made of!
Stay close.
Cute.
Yeah, I like that environment.
You will fear my strength!
Appearances can be deceiving.
Eternal flame, guide my blades.
Old lady umbrella.
Ready. Fight!
I think they track a lot.
Right this on the side!
Wake up super.
Side tracker!
Hey, probably more options than a lot of fighting. I want to see the old lady super.
Please! A little privacy.
That's so great. Wow. I love it. Dropping trailers, show guys.
Fighting games sponsoring Frame Trap. Feels right.
It does. Feels very, very, very good. Thank you, Circean Studios. Joseph Caruso, Ben, Brandon, chat, YouTube viewers. My video is slightly over 3 minutes long, so I'll stop typing and let it speak for itself. Hope you enjoy.
Boom. Streets of Rage vibes with this music.
Whoa.
That was not what I was expecting. From the music to that.
Hey, what the fuck we gonna do without a ride?
It was a disturbance.
Yeah, that got me. That got me.
Take a left here. I don't recognize the other way.
G with a 3G note. All right, man. Look, we going
Is this a commentary on
no fucking drama.
how people drive with their phones?
Come on.
Dad, you dumbass! These guys are serious!
Yeah, well, so am I.
Get out of the car, Ron. Stop with the emotions.
The chips.
Hey, man,
My dear boy, so good to see you. So good. Come on, we're having fun, right?
You wouldn't know fun if it sat on your face.
Ah, come on.
Me too?
I didn't know that he was gonna come get you. I just told him where you were. It's okay, I can just climb over.
Look, man, I'm gonna get the ride fixed, man, and drop it back off at your house along with this dude.
Did you say damn? Yeah. Damn!
Second best game of 2015.
Pure salt.
No. Oh jeez. Oh no. They're funny. It just goes back to this music every time. Yes. This is like Gravity Rush at this point.
This is an accurate simulation of driving in LA.
Yeah.
That's all this person's doing.
That's on a good day.
Yeah, that's on a good day, exactly. What are they gonna touch? Right there.
Think. Little boop. Little plain boop.
Who? This person? What is the name of this person?
This is Joseph Crusoe.
Joseph Crusoe is living his best life.
Yes. And this is not the first time we've gotten some GTA 5 shenanigans from Joseph, if memory serves. Ray Luaza, hello allies. I too participated in Steph's anime challenge, but since I don't watch anime, I made it all about Pokemon.
Nice.
I didn't make it through the whole month, unfortunately, but here's a video showcasing my favorite submissions of anime. It's a bit unusual, though. I was trying something different here. It's quiet, a bit slow-paced, so crank up the volume for this one. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. But wait! Before you play the video, I just want to abuse my showcase powers and say this. I love you, Ben.
Oh, thanks, Ray Luaza.
You're hilarious, a fantastic writer, sweet, and just a passionate, lovable human being. Play the video.
Thanks, man.
It's great, good.
You guys are too kind.
Yeah.
This is another one of those where I'm going to be jealous of the talent on display. I think.
Oh yeah, it hurts. It hurts. It's like, all right, Ray. Okay, Ray.
Villain. Ooh. Nice choice for that. Meowth, that's right. Do you work on the Pokemon anime? Like, is this a long con? Are you official?
That's all we want in Pokemon, man. Just more slices of life. Just waiting for it. Please come in.
Jigglypuff got murdered. Back! Oh.
Yeah, I like the bigger Jigglypuff. That's just me.
What?
What?
Draws in the Pikachu. Falling asleep. Totoro. Oh, nice.
Oh, the way it animates. So good.
Very good. Very, very good. Agatha. Jones, have you seen the first Pokemon movie?
No, I've not.
Really, it'd be interested in your opinion on it. It's great.
Yeah, that was intense.
These are so good. Oh man, and the different styles.
Dude, look at
like,
cool,
that's a
man.
really cool James. And that's a really cool Gary. But it's all about that Caterpie. No wonder you're so talented. You're a centaur.
All self-portraits. Really good stuff. Don't worry, Blood. I know you were going to be nervous that you were possibly going to get here and miss Super 3D Cow's update, but you made it. Woo!
Hello, Brandon.
Yes! Yes!
So excited.
Yes, I love this!
The hype and excitement is really getting to me. I can't wait to watch it. So I'm gonna play a song for you that reflects that emotion.
Super 3D Cow, you are a bringer of joy.
And intense. This is a level 42 song. It's actually considered harder. It's more of like a 43, but they rank songs weird in this game. So let's just get right to it. Enjoy. Well, I gotta be Myro-chan for Ben.
Yes.
Okay. Are you ready?
I feel like Umaro-chan is like who I am on the inside.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's hard. I like it.
Probably like first time seeing this song. Just like. I've only seen one bad, I think. Oh, two.
Yeah. Oh.
Cancel it. No, you're amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like one of the you know how in rhythm games when you feel the worst because you fail a song in like 5 seconds. That would be this for me.
Groove gauge going up, baby. What?
I can't even see it. Like, Rainbow cool.
There we go, 200 combo.
Feeling it? Feeling it?
This performance is gonna save dubstep.
Ooh. Struggled early on, but did really well.
Struggled.
That's what struggling looks
Loose
like in this
definition.
Woo! Good day, good day. Thank you so much for watching.
Good stuff. All right. Pro.
Very good. Very, very good. Man, I hope those are on every showcase that I'm on. I look forward to them.
This 2 more videos. One from Reese Manick. Hey allies, this is my first submission to the community showcase. Over the last couple months, I quit a very toxic job and finally landed my first gig in the AAA game industry. I've made games in the Portland or indie game community for the last few years, all of which are playable on my website, reesemonic.com. So that's R-E-I-S, I'm guessing it's Reese, Monic, M-A-H-N-I-C.com. Reese Monic, R-E-I-S-M-A-H-N-I-C.com. And I'm finishing up on my latest, a very dumb parody action game that I worked on as part of a game jam a few months ago that I polished up a bit. I'll link the trailer for that game below. It'll be released for free, as most of my games have been in the past. Have fun at E3! I'm looking forward to seeing your reactions to all the fun announcements. Love and respect, Reese Monic.
Love and respect.
Again, more trailers, I love it.
Super hot. Gun boomerang. Uber cold. Okay.
Excellent. Well done, well done. And finally, Mr. Tyler Lingbeek, hey allies, I put together a video featuring my online Elite Smash adventures made from the Smash Ultimate editor that was released in the 3.0 update. I'm actually going to start this because you used a piece of music that we can't use, and so I turned the music off. But I just want to show this while we're going through the gameplay. I picked up Pokemon Trainer soon after Ultimate came out, and the character has made me fall in love with Smash all over again.
Nice.
This video is some of my highlights, along with some other stuff thrown in. Glad to see Ben is on. I think he'll appreciate seeing Squirtle headbanging to Persona 5 music.
Yes, yes.
Some of it's from Persona 5. Hope you enjoy. P.S. The video editor lets you do a surprising amount of things, but makes your video randomly freeze and skip, so this video just had the least of that of the many I recorded. Love and respect, Tyler Lingbeek.
Also appreciate that he's just showing Squirtle.
Right.
Good job.
It's the last track, so don't need the headphones
You
anymore.
win.
Relax, but...
Get out of here.
Nice.
Those hopeless moments in Smash where you like desperately try to get back, and you know you're done.
Pokemon Trainer is a character that like I want to get good at.
Mm-hmm. Do it.
Well, all right.
Sorry, I didn't know what else to say. It just came out.
Boost it.
Do it. Boost it.
Yeah.
It was meant to be an encouraging do it.
I know. Do it.
Do it.
And it's always Joker. He's getting messed up. Oh, there's Ganon.
Ganondorf players. Just those big hits.
Some big Bulbasaur hits.
Olimar. Well, Alf in this case.
Wow.
Yeah, the hanging downward smash is brutal.
So, like, fighting against a good King DDD is so annoying. Like, man, almost no character gets my blood boiling as much as a good DDD player.
Oh man, we have a fourth guest.
Just in time.
Somebody's sneaking in. Are they gonna come in? Come on in, baby! Woo! The water's fine. We're on the last video. Come on in. You gotta get a little. You gotta get a little low or sneak in, or you can cuddle up on the couch. We got room space on the couch, baby. Come on, right in the middle here, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. What do you know? Mr. Huber just watching some Pokemon Trainer dominance.
Nice.
You're done. You're done, Ron. You're done.
Nice. Well done.
Pitch female Pokemon Trainer.
Show Huber the bear.
Show Huber the bear.
Oh yeah. Here. Okay. We'll go through these.
Nice that you have them.
Drawings is getting stuck for some reason. Oh, that looks cool. Yeah, I'm obviously a big fan of that one. Let's see if I can remember. I think it was Maxime. So here's the theme.
Yeah.
So it's like animals crossed over with humans. And this, believe it or not, Hubert, this was not made for you. I was just like, oh wait, also really good.
The dog that's gonna die.
Yeah. I said this was the member of Armageddon that's not making it back.
But goes out in glory. Oh, nice. So good.
Do you find it weird though that this person just like drew you and submitted it on our showcase?
I know. I didn't know what to pose at all.
They didn't even tell you about it. They just drew you.
I love the little.
I think it's a little creepy.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
That's the size he picked. It just rests on his head. So he keeps that hat on as he's chucking it. Somehow, we don't know how he does it. So happy that we were able to get a couple extra people on.
Just like casually, the axe just on the shoulder.
And apologies, we had some people in chat that said, I'm just submitting something now. Again, we have the midnight the night before, or show up 12 hours later to produce this show with a guest. So got to draw the line at some point. And we gotta, this is Frame Trap right here, baby,
Frame
right?
Trap.
This is your next episode of Frame Trap.
It is the pre-E3 Frame Trap. It's not.
Right.
We got things to talk about.
Right. I will not be on that episode of Frame Trap because you know where I'm going right now. Where? Do you know where I'm going right now?
Disneyland.
Does this give you a hint right there?
You're going.
Jones is out.
Oh,
right now,
dude.
Right now, I'm heading home, picking up Amanda, driving straight to D-Land.
Dude.
And I get in, I think I get in at 4 right now. I get in at 8 tonight. So 8 to midnight's my time.
Dude.
And yeah, I'm taking pictures.
Oh my
I'm
God.
talking all about that. We'll talk about that. Not next week is E3, but the week after that.
What are you going to do on the Falcon?
Yeah, I don't know if I can pick.
Okay.
Apparently, it's like I've read some things that they're like right pilot seat or forget it.
Yeah.
Just, the rest of it's garbage. I think the left seat is probably still pretty fun, but yeah, definitely the 2 front seats are where you want to be. But it's like, if I go in there with like, oh, I brought my 2 kids, I'll be like, I'm not gonna be the guy at the MLB game who like snatches the ball away right at the last second. Like I got it. Like I'll be like, all right,
Jones, you're gonna be the guy with the kid soon.
Soon.
Yeah.
First things first.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people figured out about the cantina. Apparently, the cantina is really hard to get into. I just want to get in that Falcon ride, and we got to find Amanda because Amanda's did a voice.
yeah.
Nice. So we gotta. Apparently, someone heard her walking off the ride, so I don't know if I go in the
It's
exit.
the voice of Amanda.
If I like go in the exit of the ride, and someone's like, no, the entrance the other way. I'm like, I'm just, never mind. I'm just gonna stand here. Is that okay if I stand here and just listen? But yeah, reports on that. But thanks, Ben, for coming in for the showcase.
Thanks,
Thank you
fun.
so much to everybody that submitted stuff. Again, screenshots and art and music, and it's wonderful to get these updates from our community. Thanks to people who have been submitting just for months and months and months. For people submitting for the very first time. Again, if you want to be a part of this. It's our $10 level on patreon.com/EasyAllies, $10 or above. I make a post usually a week. We do this on Thursdays. It's usually the first Thursday of every month. I'll do a post the week before asking for submissions, and that will only be seen by $10 and above people. Right now, I'm going to make the post public right after the show. So if there's anything you saw today that you dug, any videos you want to watch again, any pieces of art you want to make, your wallpaper on your desktop or your phone or anything, like I encourage you to go do that. Some of that Ray Luaza stuff is just iPhone size. Perfect, ready to go. So you can go check that out.
The next Pokemon movie.
Patreon.com/EasyAllies. Go to Community Showcase. You click on Posts, then you can click on Community Showcase, or you can just scroll down. It's been a week or two since we put that post up. For the Community Showcase for June, we will be back in July, the first Thursday of the month, hopefully with Ian Hank or somebody else who has not been on the showcase in a while. But yeah, and a surprise Michael Huber and Daniel Bloodworth. I love this so much. It's such a good time. Let's get on with Frame Trap, and I'll see you next month for the Community Showcase. And E3, of course, this Saturday starting EA. This Saturday morning, we'll begin our E3 coverage. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Are you ready?
Yes.
He was ready. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.